we've heard up until now that a PlayStation State of Play was on its way. Now, other announcements surrounding State of Plays and particularly showcases have burned gamers before as they were rumored but never happened. So there was a lot of skepticism here, and understandably so. Nonetheless, PlayStation has officially made the announcement there will be a State of Play. When is it? And who got the date of this State of Play square on the nose? We tackle all this on the next installment of The Spill, our gaming hot topic video series. Buckle up, but ready for a good one. Let's go. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, and here MM2K Gaming, back again with another episode of The Spill. This is where we talk about the latest and greatest in the video game world. We do it in like quick snippet form, and man oh man do we have a great video for you. This video is titled PlayStation 20 Game State of Play is Official. This is my rant on such. But before we get into all that, do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications, please. So it's like I said, there have been many conversations on, oh, this showcase is coming. Oh, get ready. Oh, this State of Play is happening. Oh, you better get ready and all this other stuff. And nothing's happened. Well, we have an industry insider that for a few weeks now have given us rumors and stuff about a State of Play, a potential State of Play. They actually gave us a date and they were right on. But before we get to who that person is, let's go to the actual article itself. So let me do this. This is a tweet from Wario64, and it states PlayStation State of Play confirmed for tomorrow, September 24th, 3 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yes, here at MM2K Gaming, we will be following the State of Play. We will be live reacting to it. Also says news and updates from more than 20 upcoming PlayStation 5 and PSVR2 games from various studios around the world. Will be 30 plus minutes long. Let's go to that actual blog post, shall we? All right. So it says test drive unlimited. That's an advertisement. You damn ad, you got me. State of Play returns tomorrow. Watch September 24th on YouTube and Twitch for news and updates from over 20 titles. State of Play is back tomorrow, September 24th. Tune in live for news updates on more than 20 upcoming PlayStation 5 and PSVR2 games from studios around the world. The 30-plus minute show begins September 24th at 3 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's going to be on YouTube and Twitch, and will be broadcast in English and Japanese. So see you tomorrow. All right. I think that's cool stuff. It's cool that there's going to be a showcase. Let's see some, or not a showcase, State of Play. Let's see some games that are coming. There's been a lot of rumors about which games are coming. I'm not going to get into those games. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spoil it for folks. And I don't even know how valid a lot of these rumors are. We will soon see. But let's just operate off the element of surprise and stay tuned. Right? So who got it right? Because a lot of things that I like to do, just so I know who's actually in the know and who actually has some good sourcing and stuff like that. I think that's a better way to phrase it opposed to who's in the know, because nobody's in the know. Unless you're in the boardroom actually with decision-making powers, you don't know. Even if you work at a company, who knows when something's going to happen? There's been plenty of things that I've been told by people within companies that didn't have decision-making powers, that when the people that do have said powers finally came through and decided what they wanted to do, it was totally different from what I was told. So that's why it's smart to sit on things. So Jeff Grubb gets a lot of information, I would presume, and we can validate him as the source of many things. And it's all dependent upon whether he's going to sit on things or whether he's going to announce everything that he's told. The same with a Jason Schreier or anybody like that, right? So it's important to understand that A lot of people get fed stuff. A lot of people get slow leak stuff. It's all about how they handle the information and the accuracy of the information that they're standing on. They'll let you know that that individual is a good source or not. All right. So who was the person out of these well-known sources that actually got the information right? Well, let's take a look. This is what I like to do. I'd like to go back and use Google to cut off the dates that the information was actually released and give me all the days prior. And then I'll put in the subject matter, for instance, here, PlayStation State of Play September 2024. And I got an interesting article because I wanted to find out who was actually spot on about this. It says, rumor, PlayStation State of Play planned for late September. The next State of Play is reportedly taking place late September 2024. The event may even happen on or around September 24th. And since 2019, Sony has consistently been holding showcases, right? So who was the person that was spot on about this? Well, Sony is now looking to follow up that event, a prior PlayStation event, before the end of the month. According to well-known industry insider Jeff Grubb, during the latest episode of Game Mess Mornings podcast, Grubb reiterated his recent claim that Sony is planning a state of play for September 2024. He has now also narrowed down the time frame for the event by stating that the live stream is probably coming in, let's say 12-ish days on or around September 24th. There you have it. Spot on Jeff Grubb was. And for the full article, there it goes right there. Gamer Rant. It's what I do. I look in the past, I jump in the hot tub time machine to figure out who's BSing us or who actually has the goods. All right. So what are my thoughts on this? I am happy to see a showcase is actually coming. That's cool. That's awesome. All that great stuff. Or not a showcase. I'm sorry. State of play. But as a PlayStation gamer who's bought my PlayStation, and I've been kind of concerned about some of these decisions that have been made as of late. You know what I'm saying? The focus on PC, and you see how that's going, right? Especially with God of War Ragnarok. That's a whole nother video. Some of the other things that they've done under Herman Hulst, we've heard about Concord. Now there's been the $400 million rumor, but I don't know if I necessarily believe that. But then that is within itself is another video. But I have some concerns, even though I'm overall happy with my PlayStation and the games that it's provided. Like I love Stellar Blade, all these games coming. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is a Marvel. Oh my gosh. But we don't have any idea what's coming down the pike opposed to stuff that was leaked. PlayStation hasn't been the most transparent when it comes to that. And it seems like that they're not telling you about games that are coming down the pike, and we know they have them, but they're selling us more stuff. Yeah. So I don't know if a state of play is going to cure my appetite of knowing what's coming down the pike. But at the very least, this is what I'm looking to see from this state of play. They just announced the PlayStation 5 Pro. The possibilities are awesome with this machine. And I purely mean possibilities. I don't know what this is going to provide etched in stone. There was a cool video that was released via Digital Foundry that I guess was sent to them from PlayStation that shows how the upgrades could work on the PlayStation 5 Pro in regards to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Cool stuff. But the worth of the PlayStation 5 Pro isn't going to boil down to one game. I got to see what you're going to do in totality, right? So I think the biggest thing that this state of play can do, even if it's not going to show us a bunch of cool new games, or at least a few or a couple of them, is sell us on this Pro. Sell us unanimously on this PlayStation 5 Pro. When I say us, I mean the people that's truly in the market for it, not the haters or the people that are making videos because they can't talk about anything positive with Xbox, that they're just going to hate on PlayStation. I'm talking about for us that are potentially in the market for this thing. Do what Digital Foundry did over and over and over and over again. And I would beckon that if PlayStation is wise here, they're going to show us Dragon's Dogma. And Dragon's Dogma is going to look as good, if not better, than Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in regards to the footage they sent to Digital Foundry. Why is that important? Because we're hearing other rumors that Grand Theft Auto 6, the biggest game to be on this planet the day that it released ever, is likely going to run at 30 frames per second on base models. If that is the case, and the PlayStation 5 Pro at launch is the only place you can play Grand Theft Auto 6 at 60 frames per second, that could be a huge deal. And a big indicator, if that's even possible, I think would be the CPU bottlenecked Dragon's Dogma 2. Jim Ryan had alluded that there's some special deal going on between GTA, Rockstar, and PlayStation. I don't know if it's a marketing deal or whatever. I don't know if it involves the PlayStation 5 Pro. But I think the biggest thing that PlayStation can do, you know, in lieu of lack of transparency of games coming down the pipe, is let us know, hey, in regards to this PlayStation 5 Pro, will it be able to play the biggest game in the world, 60 frames per second? Okay. If you're not going to say that directly, at the very least, give us indications of more worth of the capabilities of the PlayStation 5 Pro, and you got to do it in a convincing way. So as long as they can do that, I'm happy as a consumer, and you could see me not only buying a PlayStation 5 Pro day one, but as you see on the screen, that 30-year anniversary, I'm kicking and scratching and clawing to get that puppy. That looks sweet. I wasn't, hey, look, for full transparency, I wasn't even a PlayStation 1 fan. But this looks so sweet, I gotta get it. That's if I feel like I gotta get a PlayStation 5 Pro. You know, we gotta do everything in decency and order first. If I feel like I gotta get a PlayStation 5 Pro, I'm definitely fighting and clawing to get that model. But it's all in the presentation, and Sony, you gotta do it. All right? Ball's in your court. See what you do with it. All right, people, those are my thoughts on this. But like I always say, cares about what I think. Let us know what you think about this in the comment section below. All right. And are you in the market for a PlayStation 5 Pro? Let us know in the comment section what you think about this 30th anniversary model. And what are, you know, if they are showing new games, what games are you hoping to see in regards to this state of play? Let us know all that in the comment section below. Thank you all for your support. And until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace. I love you guys. Thank you very much. What is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? What is up? I'm glad that we only went through that for like a minute or two. I actually have a sign up that says open sound, and I ignored the sign. I was so excited to get into it. But what's up, everybody? Thank y'all so much for joining us for episode number 77 in a row podcast. Today is Friday. This is In a Row Podcast Day. Fuck everything else that's going on. I'm gonna shout y'all in the chat in a little bit. Cold Blood isn't here yet. Hopefully he'll get here soon. But you know, if the bro can make it, he'll make it. But what was that? I was saying earlier that I need everybody to do me a favor and let me know how everything is sounding now. I usually mute at the beginning of the show so me and Cold Blood can go over logistics and shit. And I forgot to mute for the first minute, but we're good. Do us a favor, tweet this out, let everybody know that we're live. Let them know what's going on. And also, YouTube is on some fuddy-duddy shit, okay? They target us as a smaller platform for the smallest infraction. They've been hitting us with copyright claims and all types of goofy shit. And we got to feed Seymour in order to get Seymour off of our back. So please, we're at 9 likes. Let that algorithm know that you guys appreciate the content. Come on, hit one more like. Hit one more like and let them know. All right. Hit that like button. Also, thank you. There we go. Also, if you haven't thought about it before, think about it now. We do a lot of great content here. We've done some giveaways. Our most recent giveaway, which was the monthly giveaway, we did temporarily put that on hold. Only because I got to talk to Geek, because we got even bigger shit. We got something nice. I'll put it like this. We got something really nice that we're about to give away, thanks to Geek to Sneak. And we're doing some other things with the Discord as far as giveaways are concerned. So we want to make sure we do this right. We're going to do a full-fledged loyalty program that not only takes into consideration who's paying what, but how you contribute in the chat, how you know what I'm saying, how you show your support through other ways besides monetarily. So we're working on that. We're going to take care of that. And then we're going to, restart our giveaways again and shit. And they're going to be even better than before. But do us a favor. If you're enjoying the content, if you want to be part of these giveaways, don't forget, we still got the gold giveaways that we're doing. So if we hit 10 member renewals or new members a week, y'all get Foamy Friday. We hit 25 within a 2-week period, you guys will get a giveaway that way. And then we still got our other monthly giveaways. It's just that we threw in a Discord giveaway that we kind of put on hold until we do some other shit. But all the other giveaways that you see there on the side, on the bottom left-hand side, those are still active. All right. So let's try to hit that monthly giveaway. I mean, today, well, yeah, we got up until Monday. And where we at now? Let me take a look. Where we at now for our monthly giveaway? We're at 34. So if we get 16 new members, 16. There we go. Oh man. Oh wow. Wow. Not your mother in the house. Holy crabapple. He just sets it off. My man, not your mother. He's not your mother. I'm not your friend. So, not your mother. Hitting us up with the 10 gift. Oh, man. Thank you so much, not your mother. We appreciate it. I got to come up with titles and names for you guys. Because you know they're getting great content. You know you're getting great content. Holy cow. Not your mother hit us with the 10 gifted. So Corey Massey was gifted. Corey, I don't think you ever been a member. Oh, no, you probably got a gifted before. A Devil Shooter got gifted. We got Mohammed Riot in the house. He says, did anyone see Phil Spencer play? Yeah, I saw. Yeah, bro. Hey, yo, Mohammed, I need you to stay out of my notes. You already needing my notes. Yeah, Phil's not looking too good. And I definitely want to run that by Cold Blood. You know what I'm saying? We got a great show for y'all today, man. We got a really stacked show. I really feel good about today's show. Do y'all feel good? I really feel good. I don't know if y'all can tell it in my voice. I really feel good about today's show. Because I think we're going to hit on a multitude of things. I think we're going to foster some great discussion. I think we're going to talk about a lot of things that people have different opinions on. And that's all I ask for. The only thing that I ask for is that as we have these discussions, we try to pivot the best way we can from the truth. Now, there are times where people may have been given false assumptions by nefarious forces, and that's not always your fault. So we will correct the record. But as long as we're not arguing from bad faith and all the other crazy shit, and we're trying to prop up something and, oh, don't talk about my beloved Xbox or don't talk about my beloved PlayStation. when they deserve it. As long as we can foster discussion, I feel good. And I think we got a lot of great shit to talk about. A lot of great shit to talk about. And if y'all can't tell, I'm stalling because the homie, Not Your Mother, hit y'all with a 10-piece. Boop, 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 boop. Hit you with a Muhammad Ali combo. But let's go through everybody. I just wanted to take enough time for it to show everybody that just got 10-piece with a gift. And we got Corey Massey in the house. Who else we got? We got, hold on. Okay, no. All right, here it is. We got Sparta that was hit with a gifted. Freddie 214 was hit with a gifted. We got T-Bone that was hit with a gifted. We got Ice Queen Gaming. That wasn't a gifted. She's already been a gifted member. Thank you so much as always, Ice Queen Gaming, for your gifted support. Lionel Bolgen got hit with it. Oh, Lionel, what's up, brother? What's going on? Long time no see, man. I see you lurking, brother. You gonna get you some good PlayStation content. Just don't be bringing none of that freaky shit to him. No, shout out to Lionel. His name tells it all. Lionel Balls. I ain't seen Lionel in a minute since I was over there on Broadband Bullies channel. Shout out to Lionel. I'll be checking you out on Twitter sometimes, brother. Good to see you. Who else? We got C Fresh 2180 that got hit with one. We got the homie Fred Vance was hit with a 10-piece. He was part of that 10-piece. We got El Nini was gifted with a member. Rick Al was part of that 10-piece. El Nini said, "What's up, MM2K?" He said, "Give some rant and I'll give a member." Oh, y'all gonna get a rant. Y'all know it, man. Y'all know y'all gonna get a rant. Y'all always get a rant from me, especially when I'm feeling good. Y'all always gonna get a rant. He says, let's see what else. He says, Ice Cream Gaming rap was a little too small today. Hold on. What else? We got, hey, MM2K in chat. It's coming. What's that? You got your PlayStation 5 Pro? Oh, that's what's up. That is what's up. Let me turn down this volume a little bit. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me grab something real quick. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Okay, all right. He says, man, that PlayStation 5 combined with the pearl white panels is going to look so premium. That's what's up. I want to go, before we get started, this will be part of our honorable mentions. The homie PlayStation Sweden asked me a question. I'm trying to find it. Oh, here it goes. This is at MM2K Gaming News. Oh no, making a dump. No. That was the wrong one. That was the wrong one. God damn it. There it goes. He says, MM2K Gaming, did you? Someone just send me a message. Okay. Yeah. Here, I didn't get one yet. I don't want y'all to think I'm frauding. I didn't get one yet. Here's what's going on. As I tell y'all all the time, and that's why y'all support means so much to us. And thank you, Not Your Mother, hitting us with the 10-piece. So that only takes us what? We should be at 44. That means we're only 6 away. We can do 6 more gifteds, and then you know that 6 gifted we'll give you a $25 giveaway. That's crazy. We already got one, so that means that Not Your Mother already hit us with 10. So we are going to be doing a Foamy Friday next week. So shout out to Not Your Mother. If y'all don't know what Foamy Friday is, that's where y'all force me into playing a suffer stream at like a cheesy ass game and shit, and I rage through it. It's the funniest shit ever. But definitely we'll be doing that next Friday. But All we need is six more gifted or 6 more renewals, and we're at our 50. Yeah, we're at our 50 for the month, and we good to go. That being said, I don't want y'all to think I'm frauding, because y'all heard the video earlier where I'm like, yeah, I was gonna get the 30th anniversary. I was trying. This is me being ignorant, being a former bot. See, I don't know how this PlayStation Direct shit works. I didn't talk to my brother Coldblood in advance. I have a Best Buy credit card, right? And what it is, y'all, is I told the members this. I'm bad with money. That's why my wife is in charge of the money. I'm horrible with money. When it comes to personal money, I can spend someone else's money wisely than a motherfucker. When it comes to my own money, I'm horrible for some reason, right? So my wife controls the money. And she said, look, I get that you like this game and shit. I'm all for you doing it because you enjoy it. You love it so much. But this has to be a net positive thing, meaning everything that you do has to pay for itself. And because I entrusted my wife with the finances, hold on, what the fuck did I just do? Because I entrusted my wife with the finances, I said, here, put this in your lap because I'm known to go crazy. It's like me, knowing I'm the crazy alcoholic uncle. Take all the rum and the scotch, lock it up. So because I put the keys in her hand, she devises the plan. She says this needs to be a net profit, or not necessarily, like it has to balance out. Like I can't be spending anything to do this. So for every dollar spent, there has to be some type of dollar that what's the word I'm looking for? Associated to that from doing this, right? And I said, fine. So in closing, I cannot go out there and spend $1,000. In closing, I can't go spend $1,000 to get a PlayStation 5 Pro. She's not having it. Right? So I have to be, that doesn't mean that I'm not slick, but I'd rather me be having to be slick and me fuck up minimum resources than me having access to the old kitty. Cause I'm telling y'all, I'm bad. Like, I got 4K monitors sitting around here because I was just bored looking at Amazon. I was like, oh, that's a 4K 120 monitor, buy 4K. One year I spent $15,000 on electronics that I didn't even use. I bullshit you not. I spent 15, and that's what I was like, okay, I have a problem. So I put everything in my wife's hand. All right. That being said, so I can't spend $1,000, but I have a Best Buy credit card that my wife doesn't know about. So I was going to go to Best Buy and buy it, and I can't. So I'm sitting there like, hey, honey, you going to work? Okay, bye. It was like, whip that motherfucker out, and then went to go pre-order. My thing is like, okay, when do pre-orders go up on Best Buy? And they don't. Then I found out while we were live on air that the fucking controllers went up on Best Buy. And I went to go get it, and then, but just as fast as I found out that the controller went up and went down. So I didn't get my collector's edition, but here's what I said I was going to do. I could pre-order off of Best Buy when it comes to Best Buy, or I think what I'm going to do more sensibly, because it's very easy for me to go to my wife. I want to keep that Best Buy and my Best Buy balance to the side, and because I'm eyeballing another TV. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna lie to my wife. I'm not even gonna front. I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna tell my wife, man, we got hit with so many this and that, oh man, the viewers gifted me a TV. That's gonna be a motherfucking lie. I'm gonna take that Best Buy credit. So there's a TV that I'm eyeballing. So I really don't want to touch that. What I'm gonna do is trade in my PlayStation 5 that I currently have and say, sweetheart, look, here's the thing. For Christmas, can hubby get a PlayStation 5 Pro? Then I'll get it. Look, this is what I did something fiscally responsible. I traded in my PlayStation 5. I got like $350 credit for it. and that goes towards this $700 device. She'll say, okay, all right. She'll approve it then, because in the holiday, when she's in a holiday spirit, I can get away with shit like that. All right. So that's my plan. I'm sticking to that plan. I had shout out to Dorieg and other people that said, "Hey man, I'll buy one for you now. I don't need y'all to do that. I'm gonna finesse my wife a little bit to try to get this PlayStation 5 Pro. I got a plan in order. The only thing is, I'm gonna go through some pain, y'all. I'm going to go through some pain because that means I can't play my PlayStation 5 until the Pro launches. God damn. Hoss. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a hurt piece, but it's going to be worth it. All right. With that being said, that's where I'm at in my current state of the PlayStation 5 Pro. So yes, I do have news to give y'all. And we'll talk about this more in detail as we go over the PlayStation section of the show. But yes, I am optimistic about the PlayStation 5 Pro now. I am now in an arena to where I'm leaning more towards I'm purchasing it, and I've crossed over the threshold. I won't say, I'll be honest, not by much, but I crossed over enough to say I'm comfortable in buying it. And I'll just say here's why. Digital Foundry. My buying this console boiled down to one thing and one thing only: Dragon's Dogma. Now, some of you may hear that and say, Dragon's Dogma? Why the fuck would Dragon's Dogma determine if you're going to buy this or not? Here's why. Dragon's Dogma is a Capcom game, which we know Capcom games this generation, outside of Resident Evil, are horribly optimized, and there's CPU bottlenecks. And if this fucking thing can get a horribly optimized CPU bottleneck game to hover around 60, I'm good. Why? Because that is going to tell me what I'm likely going to get out of Grand Theft Auto 6. Because Grand Theft Auto 6 may have CPU bottlenecks, but it's not going to be as horribly optimized as a Capcom game. And secondly, I don't have short-term memory. I remember when Jim Ryan came out and said, we have future deals with Rocksteady or Rockstar that we can't wait to talk to you about. That means that, because don't think that the PlayStation 5 Pro, don't be like those lumnuts that thought that Ghost of Yatai was brought out at the last minute. Y'all see that goofy shit? Ghost of Yatai was brought out at the last minute by PlayStation to finesse people because they saw PlayStation 5 Pro pre-orders. Oh my gosh. Shit gives you brain rot. Anyway, no, you understand that the PlayStation 5 socks and the chips had to be ordered in advance. So, but when Jim Ryan was making that comment, they had already finalized the deal of the PlayStation 5 Pro. So, I believe that Rockstar got some cash. Mark Cerny probably has a satellite office over there and wherever the fuck Rockstar is, and they are busting it out day and night to get this thing optimized for the PlayStation 5 Pro. But in order to see if that was even a possibility, I needed to see Dragon's Dogma. I really did. I saw Dragon's Dogma. It was at a good enough baseline. I'm sold. Because showing me all this other shit didn't matter to me. I need to see how the game system is going to handle newer games. That was at the pit of my frustration. Was one, it's not you showing this, Sony. It's just Mark Cerny. Which I trust Mark Cerny. I learned my lesson last gen, doubting Mark Cerny in the Rapid Pack math. But what y'all done effectively did with the FTC trial and all that shit is y'all rendered Mark Cerny questionable and rendered him second to Digital Foundry. And I don't think that's a smart move. I do not think that's a smart move. I think Digital Foundry should be reaffirmation, but I think you should have Mark Cerny talk about, and then the shit that we got Digital Foundry doing, showing the side by sides, he should be doing. Y'all should be the captains of your own ship. Do not outsource it. They're outsourcing their faith to Digital Foundry. And even though I like Oliver, I think Oliver, when it comes to PlayStation stuff, I think Oliver is the most sound and the most reliable there. Not because he's going to fanboy about it or whatever, but because he's an enthusiast of the platform and he's going to talk to other enthusiasts. His job is not to sell you anything. If you're in the market for a PlayStation 5, anything PlayStation 5, as a fellow enthusiast of PlayStation 5 products, he's going to let you know if it's worth your time. That's all I want to hear. I don't need to hear from a pseudo Xbox fanboy that all of a sudden is PC Alex. I don't need to hear from their take because I'm not in the same realm that they're in. I need to hear from someone who appreciates PlayStation 5 like I do, but is critical and is not just going to buy any and everything from them, or is not going to praise any and everything from them. And I think Oliver is biased enough in his analysis. Even though Thrash said it sound like that he talks like he's licking ice cream. Oh man, Thrash can be harsh, man. Shout out to Thrash. But I want someone to be critical of the thing that I like. And even if they don't agree with everything that I come down with, I like that because that makes you a trusted source. As long as you're within you're within the bounds of reasonability, we ain't got to agree on everything. You can be a trusted source for me. Yeah, I love King Thread. Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all this too, and I'm babbling, but we're gonna get right into the show. I'm gonna tell y'all this, free weights. I know a lot of y'all hear King Thrash and y'all think, oh, here comes this dude. He likes to bully people into his opinion and all that other stuff. If you don't, well, this is what you don't realize. And I'm not saying King Thrash isn't being authentic. A lot of this is for show. Like me yelling and screaming and motherfucker, ah! That's for, I'm not that mad about plastic. You get in a groove, you get in your bag, and you expel things in a certain way. So because you can hear King Thrash when he's doing a lot of his shit, he has to laugh at his own shit. He's telling you what he authentically feels, but even his own presentation cracks him the fuck up, right? So it's all part of our shtick, right? Doesn't mean that you're not authentic, but it's just part of your presentation style. And I love Thrash's presentation style. It doesn't what do you call that? Intimidate me. Like some people get intimidated by, which again, this is just entertainment. It doesn't make any sense to me. That being said, and a lot of it is informative. It's edgy. Shout out to the great KRS-One. It's edgy. He called it edgy, but he does edutainment. I like to consider what I do edutainment. Entertaining, but educational as well. But here's what I want to say about King Thrash. Regardless of his presentation style, do not dismiss the man's ability to deep dive something and get to the root analysis of something. The man is very bright in that regards, and he's very ahead of the pack. What he is doing in his documentary about Asia and East versus West just came to fruition to me in a personal way. Just real quick, and then we're going to get directly into the show. I have a group of people that I invest with. We invest in real estate and stocks and shit like that. It's a small investment group. We're not doing nothing. We're not investing millions and shit like that. But, you know, it's a bunch of us. We put our money together and then we all sit and meet and every now and again decide what we're going to do with the money that we've compiled together, right? So we were looking at why a lot of our international stocks were underperforming. And it has a lot to do with Japan and the yen. And I never really looked into it. into Japan, because that's not a market that is associated to my job, nor is it a market that I normally operate in personally. But then, so we were forced to look into the yen. So me and business partner, we started talking about some other things. And a lot of the shit that I discovered on how the yen is affecting everything globally is right up in the alley of what King Thrash is talking about. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of financial advice, because this is what I kind of like what I do. There is going to be an Asian an East takeover. Like when I was joking around when I was like, I can't wait for the Asian takeover. There is going to be an East takeover. Like Japan has done something so slick and so sly, and they've been planning it for decades, that if things work out the way that they planned, there will be a takeover. And it'll be like the 80s all over again, where we're bound down to their currency. I highly suggest that if you're not operating on the PlayStation platform, if you're still like, oh, phooey, I want to be with Xbox. No. Even if Xbox is your main, you better invest in the PlayStation platform, because that's where the future of gaming is going to be, just based off of how they're positioned. Secondly, when it comes to the Asian markets, period, if you got some disposable income and you're not diversified in any of the Asian markets, your ass better take some of that income, go do some international investment, and invest in Japanese stocks. Do it now. This is the best time to do it. You got about 3 to 6 months before you're going to lose your opportunity. Invest in Japanese real estate, because that shit is about to skyrocket. Again, if with the Bank of Japan and all these other entities over there are trying to do, if they're successful, it's going to happen. Thrash is on to something. And opposed to just looking at him as someone that calls people out, whatever, y'all really need to listen to a lot of the shit that he's saying. I had no clue until my little investment group, we got together, and all that shit that he's talking about on that channel hit me personally. And I'm like, holy fuck. So yeah. Well, let's get to some of these chats. We're gonna get it. He says, I need Mars to send his German enforcer Cold Blood to pay Alex Bugaga a visit. I don't think Alex want that. Alex ain't ready for that, bro. Alex ain't ready for that. He don't want no smoke from Cold Blood. He said, I love Jenna said, I love when Mars screams out like James Brown. Hey, Jenna, what's going on with your boy? And you said that Sarah Bond was stuffing him with soul food with mac and cheese and poke salad. He don't look like he eat no poke salad now. He look like he's on some fucking wheat germ and shit. You better go check out your boy. King Thrash Gaming been mostly right about everything, and people on the internet think he is a hobo who likes to yell a lot. That's part of the shtick. That's part of the presentation style. But people don't have the ability to look beyond the veil, Twisted Sin, and they miss out. They miss out. They just don't pay attention. Absolutely. I love how Thrash and a No Cap podcast can disagree on something and still be respectful. When you guys is on his podcast, it's like you can agree to disagree, as black men love to see it. Yeah, look, it's regardless of who you are, this is a hobby at the end of the day. And it shouldn't be, it's not that serious. But I'm telling you, Free Rates 101, the reason why it's so hostile, I'm going to tell you, it's because of the Xbox people. Now, granted, I'm not saying there aren't some PlayStation people that have gotten out of pocket and tried to make things personal. There are some. But besides just talking shit, oh, motherfucker, you know, just talking, shit talking. Besides that, I'm going to tell you who's the group that makes it personal. It's the Xbox group. And I know from personal experience. I have endless accounts that one day we just gonna have a reveal it all show and just say fuck it and just break it all down. I have endless accounts. I came into this game, of course, with a lot of my friends being Xbox people, right? And of course we became friends because I was an Xbox content creator talking shit on PlayStation. But while I was making those Xbox friends, I had PlayStation people that befriended me too. Like, you know, me and Porter Rock went at it. J-Dub would go at it. Thrash always extended an olive branch. Thrash was always a cool dude to me. Never did anything. And we yelled at each other on broadband bully shows before. I've had a lot of friends that were not Xbox people that always remained cordial and always remained my friend. Like, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, like y'all, a lot of y'all thought I was capping and didn't have relationships with these people. And y'all were surprised when I brought on King Thrash, Porter Rock, and so forth, and other people. I'm just talking about the PlayStation people. And then, you know, we plan to bring on J-Dub and other people. And like I said, I still want to close out season 1 with Z, but my schedule's been fucked up and flipping everywhere, so we still got to finalize that. But with that being said, all while I was bashing PlayStation, these PlayStation people were cool with me. Fucking J-Dub, me, him, Nethos and Noah, we started like a little mini PC group for Anthem and shit. We always, I've never had a problem with the PlayStation people as entirety. Fucking all day was, you know, a bunch of them. I never had an issue with PlayStation people in entirety, right? When I stopped advocating as hard for Xbox, I'm gonna tell you, still stay cool with me. Will Sinks, my man 50 grand, Will Sinks, always been cool. That's why I fuck with, we fuck with each other back and forth. We'll go back and forth. But that is my man 50 grand from day one. Matter of fact, he's the one, him and his team over at Xbox Uncut, they're the ones that gave me the confidence to even start a podcast. So they get their flyers from the get. But from the Xbox people, the people that have always like, that didn't like push themselves away from me and try to, you know, be funny towards me. The top people that come to mind, and there may be others, I'm just not remembering right now, but it was fucking Will Sinks, Tim Dog, Will Sinks and Tim Dog. Will Sinks and Tim Dog. Like everybody else stepped off, went their own way, really didn't fuck with me. I'm talking about that were the Xbox people. We went from talking every day, gaming, to radio silence. And I know some of them will say, well, you was doing the Stadia thing. The PlayStation people didn't stop rapping to me over Stadia. And of course, to PlayStation people, Stadia was a joke. The Xbox people were personal about Stadia. Yeah, we gotta hate Stadia because, Phil said we gotta hate Stadia. We can't trust them. They're coming to eat our babies. But the PlayStation, me and Porter Rock was still talking and chatting every day and joking around about Stadia and all types of shit. Oh, and how can I forget my man, Ninja, I forgot his name. He was still cool, but I haven't seen him on Twitter for a while. But everybody else, stop fucking with me. That was an Xbox person. Now, there's a lot of people, you know, like Chris Steele, Z, of course, and other people that were former Xbox people, like even D-Batch. And me and D-Batch, we got to have a serial relationship. But, you know, those people that converted over or wasn't rabid Xbox people, they always fuck with me. Everybody else was, you know, they made it personal. I had people that I game with that, we would buy shit for each other all the time, buy games for each other. Oh, I got to pay you back for this game. Why? We're friends. I bought you the game. No, I pay back my debts. Fuck out of here. And I'm not going to beg another grown ass man to like me or be cool with me. So what I do is I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to ask you what your problem is. We're grown. You said what you had to say in so many words. I'll back away. I've gotten that at full throttle from the Xbox brass, never from the PlayStation people. And I've had very heated conversations with the PlayStation people. Never got that from them. Never. The reason why I'm saying this is the Xbox people take this shit so fucking personal. Oh, no. Shout out to my brother Sean. My brother Sean, Shane 786, because me and him was going to do a podcast together. We was going to do like a martial arts podcast together, and he's still talking shit. Like when he was like, when Stadia announced that they was closing down, my bro did a podcast talking shit on Stadia, and I hopped on the podcast for like a couple minutes. We had a good time. So shout out to Shane, because Shane don't take everybody that don't take this shit seriously, that realize it's just about gaming, and don't actually. But I know these motherfuckers take it seriously. Why? Because I used to talk to them behind the scenes, bro. I used to talk to them behind the scenes in the way that they would talk about PlayStation people. They hated them personally. They hated them because they like PlayStation and were talking shit on Xbox. The PlayStation people don't take it that seriously. They don't care. Like King Thrash will clown and do all that shit, and he'll still be cool with you. Not the Xbox. The Xbox people will hate you, bro. They will hate you. So that's why free weights like Thrash, and shout out to Sick Humor as well. Those guys running to where, come and talk your shit. We're gonna talk our shit, and we'll get along at the end of the day. I think it's because the PlayStation people in general don't take this that seriously, to where they're going to hate you, to why you have that atmosphere over there. And and Z's the same way too. Z don't, but I learned from Z when doing this shit. Z was friends with everybody. He didn't take, like, I remember, and shout out to Z. I remember, and I always take my cues from other people. I always learn, I take every day as a learning experience. Z one time, we were watching, they were trying to clown Z, and they were calling him the Lying King, right? Because Z was, back in the day, he talked about having a $12,000 PC, and people were like, oh, you're a liar, right? And Z thought the response to it was funny. He always played up on it. He thought it was funny when people were like really dead ass serious. So somebody came out with this meme video called The Lying King. So me and somebody else, we took offense to it. Like, man, fuck these motherfuckers, man. What? Z was like, bro, calm down. This is just video games. This is all part of the whole tapestry, bro. And if you can't handle that, you're doing the wrong thing. And I had to think about it, like, yeah. You know what? Yeah, Z, you're right. Z was cool with any, as long as you ain't get into, like Z will tell you, long you don't get no weirdo shit. Like Z will tell you all the time, long you wasn't getting into no weirdo shit. Z was cool with everybody. And that's where I got my cues from. I don't give a fuck what you like. Me and Cole Bluntly, we argue every day. But that's my bro. It's like, you guys can't take this so seriously. So that's my thing to the X. Y'all take it so seriously. And that's why I think a lot of the bullshit that's happening, like we're going to talk about, this is a perfect segue into the Xbox part. The bullshit that's happening, like at Tokyo Game Show, because there's a lot of people, like not everybody's upset. Like I said, the cloud gaming wing of Xbox is not upset. And y'all probably keep saying, well, why do you keep bringing up the cloud gaming wing? Well, number one, I'm co-owner of Cloud Dosage, which is a YouTube channel that's on pause, and mainly a cloud gaming website. And shout out to those guys over there. They do all the heavy lifting over there. I just co-created the brand, right? They do a lot of the heavy lift. They do all of the heavy lifting over there. Those guys do a phenomenal job covering cloud gaming, right? And we're going to be doing things to increase their success, right, and their outreach. And so a lot of the staff over there at Cloud Dosage, they look at Xbox totally different from I do. I look at it through a lens of a triple genre defining gamer. That is my main focus. And I've been with Xbox since day one. So I'm looking for Xbox to expand from what it started, not do this switcheroony and become something that is unrecognizable, right? So those guys came in on the back end while Xbox was changing into this new thing. So it's nothing to them. It's like, oh, this is what I don't have that attachment to the nostalgic launch of the Xbox and what they were promising back then, because I didn't get acclimated to Xbox till now. So they look at Xbox through a totally different lens, right? And the boosting and the support they give to Xbox and how they try to spread the message of the pros that are associated to Xbox for the type of gamers that they are. Like, there's a lot of fanfare that happens over there that Xbox don't acknowledge at all. The fuck it, I got to do it, even though I don't agree I won't say I won't agree. I don't look at it from the angle that they do. So the things that they're looking for that they appreciate from Xbox, I don't. But at the very least, regardless of me being co-owner of the brand, goddamn, it's hard to look at them and see all the shit that they're doing to promote the platform to not get recognized. So that's why I always mention them. Because goddamn, somebody's got to mention them. Fuck. But shout out to those guys and the phenomenal job that they do over there. But if you're not one of the cloud gaming people that are on Xbox, you're one of the foundational console gamers like the aforementioned Will Sink and Shane and others. You're going through some extreme disappointment that's self-inflicted, and Xbox doesn't care. They don't care. And unfortunately, we got a lot of people out here that, because they're making money doing this content creation thing, they keep fucking with y'all and lying to y'all and over purporting on things and not really looking out for you, the listener. This is why we have the debates here. This is why Cold Blood at any given moment, and shout out to Mags too. I just forgot, but Mags kind of like is fading somewhere else, but he still has deep connections into the Xbox world as well. But Mags has always been a supporter too. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Mags. But he said, "Give me more rant." Since PlayStation Sweden, but and that's a great comment by Corey Massey. But there's a lot of content creators who get paid for hating on PlayStation, and they don't want to give up that gravy train. B, they don't get cash, but they relish in the connection to Xbox, to being flown out here, to being talked to by someone at a company. They totally forget about y'all. It's all about them. They only talk to y'all. They only pretend to care about y'all. But everything is about them. You kind of heard that earlier when in response to, hey, content creator, you said A, B, C, D, E, F, G was going to happen, and it didn't. Like, you got my hopes up. You continue to play with my emotions, and we kick the can of accountability down the road. Like, that ain't cool. I really trusted you. And the response basically was, well, I just simply talk about things that I want to happen. So regardless, if I said it in a way that led you astray, so the fuck what? Deal with it. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off. It is what it is. So now not only is Xbox telling you, hey, look, you guys are going to be upset by what we do. It's not really going to benefit you despite all the support that you've given us, but deal with it. Deal with it, or if you're going to leave, okay, get the fuck out of here. Now it's even gotten to the point to where the creators are doing the same thing. Hey, look, yeah, I talked to you definitively. I even have a percentage gauge associated to how many times I consider myself right, even though that's not factual. But when I'm not right, I'm not going to be holding myself accountable. Look, here's what it is. Deal with it. And it might seem like I'm being harsh or I'm picking on people, but no. After years of me talking to the Stadia people that worked on Stadia, having inside access to that, knowing about certain plans that were rolling out, having shit slow leaked to me, I grew a foundational awareness that, hey, this thing, they're going to keep trying this thing and keep rolling at this thing for a while. And at worst case scenario, they might be in danger of closing after 2023. But they end up shutting down shop in 2023. So even though I was a year off, I didn't get to say, oh, I was only a year off technically and I was right and, it's not my fault. No, I had to go out the same day, explain to you the best of my knowledge what happened, but take accountability for what I said, and even apologize to the killed by Google guy who I just lambasted not too long ago for actually predicting this, getting a leak that said this shit was going to happen. So anybody that may fit into who I'm addressing, I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't done. This isn't me just beating you over your head. But I think things happen. I think this is a better relationship when you actually care about what you say to people. You can still keep up your appearances and do what you do because you let the platform holders know, hey, look, I can't be bought or sold. And you let the people know, hey, I am looking out for you. I'm not trying to sell you a pipe dream. I am looking out for you. I may not get it right all the time, but I'm doing the best job that I can to come up with the most factual outcome, not to sell you pipe dreams. Because people don't want pipe dreams right now. They may have wanted it a few years ago. They may have fell for that 40 to 50 frame deltas bullshit and they wanted to hear it and they weren't willing to listen to facts. But people are at a point now, they want to know what's happening, what's going on. And I think you can build a successful platform, whether it's monetarily or even with relationships, by building on brand integrity. There are plenty of people who build on brand integrity, just keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and then they're not beholden to anybody. And that makes them lucrative to not only listeners, but companies, because companies say, shit, we got something good. And we got so much confidence that we got something good that we're going to approach this content creator who's not going to give us any slack. But if they can vouch that what we got is good, we good to go. And that puts power in your hands without you having to give up on integrity. So I'm just cautioning a lot of content creators. You know what? Because I've been on the wrong side of the facts before. But if you stay focused on your integrity, the fall won't be so hard. You guys are in for a big fall. Anywho, that being said, let's now get into the show. Let's first talk about Xbox news. So we had a couple of things happen. Number one, the Tokyo Game Show predictions. Man, oh man, oh man. And let's play something here. This is something from our good friend, Jamie Zacht. Oh God. Jamie Zacht is a funny guy. So let's play this video and we'll talk about everything in relation on the back end. Okay. Oops. My bad. I forgot I got to put the audio back up here. I got to put the audio back in here. My bad. All right, here we go. Now we're going to do it again. Let's talk about it.
What they're going to show at the Tokyo Game Show is going to be all their partners that's all in the Eastern market in Asia, all of that stuff. That's encompassing Black Myth Wukong. So everybody wants a date for Black Myth. You're going to have a date. But I heard the whole slate from Square.
The whole slate, including like 7?
The whole slate. I thought that Final Fantasy would be here. Final Fantasy 16, to be honest with you. So, again, not my greatest moment. I did not like the moment at all. So this to me, honestly, was probably your worst show of the year. Then you came out talking about a damn Fire Stick. I really don't care about it. What they're going to show at the Tokyo Game Show is going to be all their part.
Okay. All right. So you have it. All right. So you have that. Then you also have this. This is from Jeff Keighley, who normally, I feel like, and both Xbox and PlayStation are guilty of this. I feel like Xbox is doing it more, but I feel like PlayStation does it too. Because, you know, normally when Jeff Keighley has these polls, the bots come out here and attack it, right? And so every Xbox showcase for the last 5 years has gotten A's and B's, and they've been phenomenal or whatever. And I'm not just talking about the last showcase during Gamescom. I'm talking about every single one that preceded that for the last 4 or 5 years. Every showcase was phenomenal, which I'll give marks to the last showcase. It was a great showcase. But all the other ones before, they were not all phenomenal. And that's them sending out the bots. But this time around, the bots ain't even working. And you really don't see a lot of participation in this, which would lead me to believe that maybe this whole thing of sending the bots out after a showcase, maybe Xbox is deciding it's not worth the investment, because there is a charge for that. Like, you got to pay people to send the bots out. So when you look at this showcase and the response that people have given the showcase, the highest score is a D, 35.7. So 58% of the community felt like it was a bad showcase. Oh, shout out to, is that PlayStation Sweden? Oh man, PlayStation Sweden hit us with another 5 gifted. Oh gosh, PlayStation Sweden. He happy? Hey yo, you happy that you got that Pro? Oh man, thank you. Hey, PlayStation 5 Sweden, thank you. He said PlayStation 5 Sweden said, hey Mars, that corner store I robbed to get my PlayStation 5. Hey look, I had a couple dollars left. Here you go. Shout out to PlayStation 5 Sweden, man, for turning it up. Thank you very much, my friend. Let me make sure that everybody that got it gifted Thank you, PlayStation. Give PlayStation 5 Sweden. Hit that like button for PlayStation 5 Sweden. If you got a gift, hit that like button. Let's do something new here. Let's do some appreciation, right? Because I could sit here and beat y'all over the head and say, yo, give me a gift, give me a gift, give me a gift. You know, I don't do that. This is all cyclical. This is all going into making this a better platform for you. And we want to show appreciation to people. So if you got a gift, and even if you're lurking, just hit that like button. Even if you're like, oh man, I can't stand this MM2K. How dare you show that? Hold the line. You can hate me all you want. Like I said, I don't take this shit personally. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks or anybody says about me. I've never been that type of person. Just don't lie about me. But regardless of how you think about me, show some appreciation to this people. Hit. If you got a gift, then hit the goddamn like button. Or at the very least, say thank you. If you got a gifted, hit that like button and or say thank you. But I want to give a shout out to PlayStation Sweden for gifting that 5. He says the homie whole slate Satya got gifted 1. We got Saint Gabe was gifted 1. We got Crimson was gifted 1. The homie E. Kim was gifted 1. And Algrian was gifted a membership. Shout out to all of y'all. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate it. Yeah, hit that like button and just say thank you. Thank you, PlayStation Sweden. We appreciate it, good brother. Thank you very much for all your assistance and just your support of the platform, man. We love to see it. You've been good to us. He said, oh, you got 2 of them. Hey, yo, PlayStation Sweden. God damn, you hit the bank of Sweden? Oh, man. He hit the money truck as it left the bank of Sweden. Golly. I don't want to be an accomplice, brother. You try to wash your money? Shout out to PlayStation Sweden for the 5 gifted. All right. So, like I said, normally, y'all, you'll see these bots like be up in the hundreds and thousands by now. What's going on? I think what needs to be taken into consideration is the predictions that I just showed you guys. This means, like, I get it. I tell this story over and over again. I'll tell it one more time. Xbox people should know that I came into this game as an Xbox. All you new members, and I'm just throwing this out here, we now got 15, we're 1 member away. So all we need is a renewal or what's it called for us to hit our monthly goal, and we'll be doing a giveaway. So so all we need is a renewal or 1 more gifted, and we'll hit the jackpot. And that'll bring us even closer to a 2-week. And so you guys keep going. We'll have 2 giveaways, but I just want to put that out there. We're one membership away, a renewal or another gifted from hitting our thing. All right, back to the show. I had a conversation with a content creator I used to work with, and this is while I had decided that personally, I'm not fucking with Xbox anymore. But I remember we were talking about another content creator who was flip-flopping, going all over the place and not being true. Like, you know, oh shit. Rob Gaming TV became a member. There we go. Shout out to Rob Gaming TV, and Rob Gaming TV made it possible. Oh, hold on. Was there another gifted train? Oh, that was not your. Oh, gosh. And then Juice hit with another gifted. Oh, god damn. Y'all going for 2. Y'all are going for 2 giveaways. Golly. So let me see. Where were we at? Just so I understand this. Hold on 1 second. Make sure I got this all right. We got to be at 35 in a 2-week period. I think we might have already hit the goal. Hold on, give me 1 second. Oh shit, let me check something real quick. I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. This gifted train is getting crazy. I got to take care of something at the front door. I promise I'll be right back. Let me put the video on real quick. I'll be right back. Right back. We've heard up until now that a PlayStation State of Play was on its way. Now, other announcements surrounding State of Plays and particularly showcases have burned gamers before as they were rumored but never happened. So there was a lot of skepticism here, and understandably so. Nonetheless, PlayStation has officially made the announcement there will be a State of Play. When is it? And who got the date of this State of Play? Square on the nose. We tackle all this on the next installment of the Spiel, our gaming hot topic video series. Buckle up. But ready for a good one. Let's go. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, in here, MM2K Gaming. Back again with another episode of The Spill. This is when we talk about the latest and greatest in the video game world. We do it in like quick snippet form. And man, oh man, we have a great video for you. This video is titled PlayStation 20 Game State of Play is official. This is my rant. But before we get into all that, do us a favorite like button. Hit the subscribe button and rock those bells for notifications, please. So it's like I said, there have been many conversations. Oh, this showcase is coming. Oh, get ready. This State of Play is happening. You better get ready and all this stuff. And nothing's happened. Well, we have an industry insider that for a few weeks now have given us rumors and stuff about State of Play, a potential State of Play. They actually gave us a date, and they were right on. Before we get to who that person is, let's go to the actual article. So let me do this. This is a tweet from Wario64. And it states PlayStation State of Play confirmed for tomorrow, September 24th, 3 p.m. Pacific. Going to be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yes, here at MM2K Gaming, we will be following the State of Play. We will be live reacting to it. Also, since this is updates from more than 20 upcoming PlayStation 5 and PS VR2 games from various studios around the world, will be 30 plus minutes long. Let's go to that actual blog post, shall we? All right. So it's this test drive unlimited. That's an advertisement. You damn man, you got me. State of Play returns tomorrow. Watch September 24th on YouTube and Twitch for news and updates from over 20 titles. State of Play is back tomorrow, September 24th. Tune in live for news updates on more than 20 upcoming PlayStation 5 and PS VR2 games from studios around the world. 30 plus minute show begins September 24th at 3 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's going to be on YouTube and Twitch. We'll be broadcasting English and Japanese. So see you tomorrow. All right. I think that's cool stuff. It's cool. There's going to be a showcase. Let's see some State of Play. Let's see some games that are coming. There's been a lot of rumors about which games are coming. I'm not going to get into those games. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spoil it for folks. And I don't even know how valid a lot of these rumors are. We will soon see. But let's just operate off the element of surprise and stay tuned. So who got it right? Because a lot of things I like to do, just so I know who's actually in the know and who actually has some good sourcing and stuff like that. I think that's a better way to phrase opposed to know, because nobody knows unless you're in the boardroom, actually with decision-making powers. You don't know. Even if you work at a company, who knows when something's going to happen? There's plenty of things that I've been told by people within companies that didn't have decision-making powers. That when the people that do have said powers finally came through and decided what they wanted to do, it was totally different from what I was told. So that's why it's smart to sit on things. So Jeff Grubb gets a lot of information. I was presenting, and we can validate him as the source. Was it double feeding? My bad, y'all. 2 out of 10 audio. My bad. Let me take that off. I have this thing on. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. Well, I gotta cut that part out. Well, what part is that? My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. Golly. All right, I won't do that again. No, my wife called me, or she texted me, which I wish she would have called me. She knows I'm live around this time. I have dinner in the oven, and then she has an important package coming, and we got some weird neighbors. I think I told you guys about this before. I told the members about this, and I'm so sorry for that, y'all. We got neighbors that are weird. Like I live in a neighborhood where we're like in the backwoods, and there's a lot of older senior citizen motherfuckers. So at times at night, like my fucking door is unlocked and shit. You know what I'm saying? At night, like nothing happens here except some old people trying to drop kick each other, and they bust their head open, and they both passed out. Like we live around a lot of old people. But we got these new neighbors, and they're strange. I had a situation with one of them the other day because I thought they were lurking around my house, you know, trying to be package pirates. So whenever my wife, because she gets a lot of shit that comes back and forth, I know, imagine that. I'm not allowed to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro, but she can buy shit all the time. Anywho, she had a very important package though today coming, so I forgot all about it because she's usually home around this time. And then I already started dinner. I got it slow cooking in the oven, and I've timed it. And I said, okay, by the time she walks in, she can turn it off or flip it over. And she didn't. She's not here. She sent me a text that, of course, I ignore texts. When I'm live, I only pay attention to phone calls because people know not to call me unless it's an emergency. And my wife didn't do that. So, all right. No, that was my fault, PlayStation Suite, and I should have known better to do that. I was in such a rush to get her freaking package that I imagine that. See, I'm a fraud. I did all that shit. I love you guys, and you guys are this, and here I subjected you to all that. It was probably PlayStation. Get. It was nothing but echo and shit. Oh, y'all caught me frauding anyway. All right. So, let's get back to it. I think that what's happening here is I think content consumers are starting to realize. Here, let me mark this. I want to bookmark this, put a streamer here so I know when to go back. I think content consumers are starting to realize that these creators are not looking out for you. I'm going to give you a prime example. There was a creator out there. This creator does irk me because they're clearly grifting, trying to take advantage of you, but they feel like there's some authoritarian power. They're always trying to use their thesaurus to try to argue people down over dumb shit. They were trying to convince you that ABK was the only thing Sachi and Nadella and Tim Stewart were talking about when they were going multi-plat. Done a whole bunch of shit. and said creator actually told you guys, tried to sell you on the 40 to 50 frames delta, tried to sell you that PlayStation was going to get destroyed by Xbox. And when none of those things were true, instead of saying, you know what, I fucked up. I clearly wasn't paying attention to enough signs. And I gave you guys the wrong, hold on, what the fuck is this? I gave you guys the wrong, no, not Colt, but I gave you guys the wrong impression because I wasn't paying attention to this, that, or the other. Like when I went live and talked about what I got wrong on Stadia, I told you guys why. I did not take into consideration, I've said it multiple times, I was focused purely on the frontline people Stadia who don't make the decisions at the end of the day. The Stadia people can tell me what they plan on doing and what they're working on next. And I can sit there and say, oh, yeah, they're going to expand this, they're going to do that. But the decisions are made at Google's level. And see, all I knew about Google is Google wrote a fat check so Stadia could work on its revitalization project. Like when they closed SG&E, they came up with this thing called load change porting, which was going to make it possible for developers not to spend so much time on bringing their games to Stadia, and therefore would bring more games to the platform. That's all I heard. I didn't deep dive enough into the civil war that was going on at Google and how half of the staff or the board was all for this and the other half was, I didn't look into all that shit. So I said, you know what? I didn't take into account to how flimsy the Google board is on decisions like this, where everybody else stuck it through the $1 trillion tech bubble. Google didn't. And I said, I've learned that regardless of who I back up, I am going to fully vet. I owe it to you all. I have to fully vet the parent company too. I'm not going to just sit there and take these periodic acts from the parent company. I got to look at everything in totality. I got to look at the trend. And Google's trend, whether I liked it or not, regardless of what they were saying or not, Google's trend is, as soon as things get a little shaky, we got to abandon it. We're going to abandon it. That's the trend. That's the trend they got to fight. I told you, I apologize to people for me not doing that homework. I said, hey, look, I can defend this, and this, but what I can't defend is me putting this much faith. I never told you guys with 110% certainty that this was going to happen, that was going to happen, but I do apologize for the faith that I put behind this and this. And I told you guys what I learned from it. That's what I'm looking to see from these creators. What did you learn from believing the 40 to 50 frame deltas? What did you learn from telling people that PlayStation was going to crash and burn and all, when the evidence didn't suggest it at all, when the devs were telling you the complete opposite? What did you learn from this? And why should I hold you? And how are you going to hold yourself accountable to make you even worth listening to in the future? And you know how they've answered that call? They haven't. They've simply told you, we're not holding ourselves accountable for shit. All we're doing is transitioning from pro Xbox to anti PlayStation. That's all we're doing. There's nothing positive to say about Xbox, but when you hear from us, everything we're going to say is anti PlayStation. Oh, that Pro isn't worth it. Oh, that state of play was trash. Oh yeah, PlayStation 5 Pros aren't selling, which we're going to get into that. Oh, that anniversary version was a ripoff. Oh, that they've just transitioned into that. They're not going to hold themselves accountable. They have now just transitioned into, instead of trying to give you hope false hope, that is, about Xbox. They've transitioned into, we're still going to get our clicks, we're still going to get our ad revenue and our Google AdSense from just simply hating on PlayStation. So if you want to be at a place where we hate on PlayStation, that's what we're transitioning into now. So you got to be fully cognizant of that. And you got to expect to hate. Like, I see people putting expectations on Ghost of Yotei that they would never put on PlayStation. On Xbox. Anybody that's out here saying that Ghost of Yotei looks mid or doesn't look good, but fucking Indiana Jones look great, needs to shut the fuck up. They don't have an ounce. They don't have a shred of credibility that can be seen with a fucking mic with the most powerful microscope in the world. They don't have a shred of credibility that can be seen at the micro level. Anybody that out here that with a straight face says, you know what, Ghost of Yotei looks mad, but said fucking Indiana Jones with its Unity built ass looking swinging that it's doing looks great, needs to shut the fuck up. That's not being accountable. That is, again, transitioning from, here goes a glimmer of hope for Xbox. Here's what's, Xbox is doing this, that, to simply hating on PlayStation, which is at the core of their agenda. Why? Because they either want to hate on PlayStation because, and Porter Rocky explained it in our interview. So all you new members, you get to check that out. Porter Rocky explained it. Why it's lucrative to hate on PlayStation here on YouTube and on social media. So they're either doing it for clicks or they're doing it because they really were never Xbox supporters. They were just PlayStation haters. Look at this. They don't play games. They talk about Game Pass. You never see any game footage. I can count on one hand the amount of content creators on the Xbox side who regularly show gameplay. We show you what we're playing. We actually have a fucking game stream channel. When news is slow, what do? We whip out the games and we play the games. These motherfuckers don't play no games. There's like a couple of people that may play games. I'll do this person a solid. I'll do this person a solid. As much as I don't follow the K-Mega rhetoric at all, as much as we've battled on Twitter in years past, I will give K-Mega credit. He plays games. The rest of you motherfuckers don't. K-Mega plays games. The rest of you don't. You don't. Game Pass is so great. Show us. Play the fucking games. Starfield is fantastic. Show us. Boot the motherfucker up. I got more. This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any fucking sense. I, as someone who thinks that fucking Starfield is boo-boo soup, I think it's doo-doo souffle. I have more game footage of Starfield than you motherfuckers do. We're gamers. Look. This is not like being a basketball enthusiast or a race car enthusiast or a sports enthusiast. We're gamers. We don't need anybody else to validate how good something is because we can do it ourselves. That's the luxury of being a gamer and being in this particular hobby. So, you can look at somebody that's like a big, like for instance, I'm big into sports in NBA, and so one of the content creators that I listen to is a guy by the name of Dreamers Pro, and I'm a big Michael Jordan fan, so I love listening to Dreamers Pro and listening to and get into it into people who hate on Michael Jordan, right? Now, somebody could and he gets into it with Gilbert Arenas, who Gilbert Arenas tries to say to him, you know what, you don't play basketball. I've been in basketball, but he's like, you don't need to be able to play basketball to analyze basketball. Like, you got a lot of coaches out there that never play professional basketball, but they are hellified fucking coaches, right? So, the great late Chuck, was it Chuck Daly from the Pistons? I don't think he ever played any bad. Anyway, that being said, we don't have that problem here. You ain't got to be a professional athlete to pick up a game and play it. You don't have to be an esports professional to play. Just pick up the game and play it. And actually, it makes it more relatable because the average gamer can't relate to an esports motherfucker. That's somebody that's top tier. An average gamer can relate more to you. So pick up the fucking game. How is it that I, with all the content that I have, and really, I don't feel like I play enough games, but I got more hours in Starfield than you guys have. But y'all say Starfield is so great. And don't give me that dog shit showing me your snapshot of how many hours you got in the Starfield, aka how long you left your Xbox on and went out and bought your field one. You guys will do everything to support Xbox besides actually support Xbox, meaning buying, investing, and playing the games and showing yourself playing the games. That's why Xbox dumped you motherfuckers, because all you were doing was leeching. I want to have Game Pass so I can just flip through a game, pay 2 minutes of Phantom Dust with the original assets every 3 months, and then go talk shit on Twitter for the rest of the time. Xbox said enough is enough. We're getting slaughtered out here. Us placating to you fucked us over. We placated to you for the Bethesda deal that fucked us over for the APK deal. We're done. Fuck you. And I don't blame them. Yeah, the platform may be dog shit, but I don't blame that decision. All y'all do is talk. I don't see y'all playing shit. Xbox is out here getting their ass kicked. They're sitting there taking losses on fucking Game Pass and shit. It's stagnated, all this stuff. All y'all want to do is argue on Twitter and not play shit. Xbox said, fuck y'all. Y'all are not worth it. You're going to pay for Game Pass. Fucking ambassador. And I don't blame them. I would have been said, fuck y'all. Y'all want to do everything to support Xbox, but support Xbox. Y'all ain't buying games. Y'all ain't subscribing to Game Pass, really. You trying to get free codes and this and that by being an ambassador. That's all, and you're not even playing the games, so Xbox doesn't even get to tally up the hours of your activity and try to throw ads in there and shit, because we know that's what they want to do. They want to convert Xbox like how Netflix converted Netflix by making it an ad revenue type thing, and finally that's what finally made Netflix profitable, right? Y'all followed the news. That's what Xbox wants to do. They can't even do that because they can't bundle the hours, give it to companies and say, hey, look, we got so many hours on this platform that it would be lucrative for you guys to drop ads here, which we'll put in between gameplay or whatever, and pay us X amount of dollars. They can't even do that because your time on Game Pass is lackluster. It's not growing. So that doesn't make it lucrative to companies to put ads on there. They don't see growth there. They can't demonstrate growth. And I'm gonna be honest with you, because I said this privately, now I'm gonna say it publicly. And I'm not gonna rat out my homie who kind of helped me think this way. It's an Xbox person. I'm not going to say any names because they've been good to me. They've been good to me. Here's what I will say. I got into it on Twitter a few years ago with somebody, well-known Xbox person that's been good to me. Real cool. I'm still cool. You know, me personally, I'm still cool with them. And I don't think they got any issues with me. They may not like my opinion, and it may not be popular for them to be cool with me, quote unquote, openly, but whatever. But I really appreciate everything that this person has done for me as a creator. I got into it with them about Game Pass because the question about Game Pass was Game Pass profitable? Was Game Pass seeing growth? And were the numbers that we were given about Game Pass, were they accumulative numbers, meaning this is how many people have signed up altogether over a lifetime? Or were they monthly active numbers, right? So we were making the argument, me and another creator, not this Xbox creator, me and another creator were making this argument in the thread that we don't think that it was active numbers, they were accumulative numbers. So said Xbox creator, who I've gone to and talked to offline before and got various Xbox related information, came back and publicly said, no, I've confirmed this is active. Meaning when they say they had 20 million, that's how many people currently are subscribed to Game Pass, 20 million. So I said, oh, okay, fine. Trust you. We're going to leave it at that. So I bookmarked the engagement, right? Or I held on to it, whatever, because I don't think bookmarking was out at the time. So I was having an argument with somebody who also doubted Game Pass and whether those numbers were cumulative, meaning those were the total people that have signed up forever. Like, let me give you a prime example for those of you that don't understand what I mean by cumulative. Let's just say if during a lifetime, Xbox a couple of years ago had a total of 20 million people sign up during a lifetime, but actively at that moment when we're trying to figure out how many people currently have the subscription, only 5 million people had it. That would mean that accumulative numbers were 20 million total people ever signed up for Xbox Game Pass, but there's only 5 million active subscribers. So again, I was told by the content creator that no, when they threw out that 20 million or whatever the number was at the time, it was active. They were saying there are currently so-and-so active million users out there. I said, okay, and I left it at that. So there was a discussion that someone else was having about Xbox. And even though I have my issues with Xbox, I say, look, like I do all the time, fair is fair. Let's not misspeak about the Game Pass numbers. I was like, look, let's get off the Game Pass numbers because to be fair to Xbox, those Game Pass numbers are active. They're not accumulative. I went to go back to pull that tweet as proof. The whole fucking thread from that contributor was deleted. I repeat, everything that mofo put out there, and if you know you're and you're listening, you know I love you. Everybody's a motherfucker, even in my house. But everything that was put out there from that motherfucker was deleted. Meaning, in my eyes, and I'm not saying this with 100% certainty, I don't know. I can't tell you why that was deleted. Doesn't make sense to me. But here's what it could possibly mean. It could again, big asterisk, possibly mean that maybe those Xbox Game Pass numbers are not active. They're cumulative. Possibly, maybe, questionable. I'll just put it out there like that. I'll just leave it like that. Now, if there's a quote from Xbox saying, no, these are active or whatever, then disregard that. And I would have to find out one day why I said content creator deleted that. That would just be questionable to me. Why that part was deleted. Well, I won't say everything in the thread. I will say that that comment was deleted. We'll leave that one alone. But, and here's the last part about this that I want to talk about before we move on. Shout out to my homie Chris Steele. Oh, we got Mag in the house. Mag, you just slipping in here, buddy? Or you been here for a while? No, Mag just slipping in here. Mag says Xbox could have gone from 14 Xboxes to 15 Xboxes and they would report growth. Yeah. Mag, I'm going to tell you who it is behind the scenes. Like, I'll send you a message when I get done. But I would like your input on it because my assertions could be wrong. And I know you would steer me right. That's all right, man. Good to see you, brother. I hope all is well. I hope all is well with the family, man. I love your latest skits, man. They're great as always. When I get done, Mag, and if I don't send you something by the end of the day, if you have time, please reach out and say, "Hey, Moss, who the fuck were you talking about?" And I'll explain it to you. But I just found that interesting because I was actually trying to defend Xbox, and I was like, "No, these are active, man. Just don't just get off of this front." And I went to go get the tweet, and I said, "Hold on, this motherfucker deleted it. What the fuck? Oh shit!" That was a few years ago that I noticed that. So, but I would like to get your input on it, brother. Oh yeah. I'll run it by you. You'll get a kick out of it. But yeah. Shout out to Chris Steele. Chris Steele's, trolling and flaming his money. But look at Phil, man. Oh, here goes a phone call. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. right, sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm getting all types of phone calls. Anyway, yeah, so Phil Spencer doesn't look at him. Bro looks worn out. I mean, he's lost some weight. He did look like he was picking up some weight. He did lose some weight. But he looks like he's tired. He looks very worn, man. He looks worn out. I mean, so here's my questions in regards to all this PlayStation stuff. I mean, this Xbox stuff. I think the big questions are, Xbox gamers, they're walking away disheartened from TGS. How did they get this so wrong? How did they fall for this okie doke so bad? And secondly, Phil Spencer looks worn, man, from all this shit. Is his days numbered or something? Like, they talked about there was some new somebody that's there that's whose job might make Phil's job tougher. Then the Sarah Bond article came out where they're essentially letting people know we're moving away from the console. It's not about and here's what people like criticize me on. They say, Maz, it's not all about the console. Why are you so focused on the console? Oh my God. Hold on one second. Hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Mr. Grimm with the $5 says, nah, when you spend all that time being ahead of the Xbox division, given how things have been going for the past 10 plus years, that going to age anyone. Yeah, he do got the Obama Sandy thing going on here. Hey, yo, the Sandy White thing, yo. But no, look, man, look. I don't believe that, Mr. Grimm. Because Phil's never looked this bad. This all just happened. Like, because we just saw him a couple of months ago. Or no, we just saw him like a month ago at Gamescom. He didn't look like this. He didn't look like this, bro. Something recently has happened. And I told you guys that when we're going to give y'all the straight dope. We're going to break it down to y'all in ways that is not happening elsewhere. I told you guys that's it, and people criticize me for this. You're over exaggerating. That Sarah Bond interview was more revealing than anything. Why? Because of that part where she talked about not being able to decipher Phil's communication and having to put a post-it note I'm not getting paid to do what he tells me to. I'm getting paid to do what he meant. Y'all don't fucking understand. I'm going to help you understand today. Y'all gonna learn today. That, my friends, is a shot across the bow in penetration and in fucking the most corrosive fashion ever against the greatest attribute that Phil is commonly known as having: connecting to people. She is attacking the most formidable substance that Phil has, despite all of the negative press he may get, all of the negative shit that we may say. Phil is defended so much because he is looked at somebody whose greatest attribute is his ability to connect. You can't connect if you can't communicate. Because connection is all about understanding and relaying. She's attacking his ability to not only understand what it is that he needs to do, but his ability to, most importantly, portray it. She's attacking Phil again at the most critical thing that is considered a positive for him, his communication skill. And she's reaffirming everything that the negative naysayers like myself have to say. She's reaffirming, yeah, this motherfucker don't know what is up and what is down and how to get you to settle on what it is that he wants to do. So I gotta put up this condescending post up that says I'm not getting paid to do what he says, but to do what he means. Now, what the fuck does that mean? Because if the CEO of a division doesn't know how to convey what he means, whose role is it to convey what he quote unquote means? It's my job to convey that meaning. He may say one thing and he may tell us to execute it one way, but he don't know no better. It needs to be conveyed and executed this way. She may have wanted to put it out there for Phil to look at it as in, oh no, Phil, we may have had a rocky start, but sometimes you say things differently from what you mean, but I get you. That's the way she wants Phil to look at that message, or she was hoping that Phil, but what it has an underlining meaning. What it means is you don't know what's best for you and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Because how the fuck do you know what this dude means if he doesn't communicate it to you? You see, did you guys, I hope you're following me. I hope you're not saying, oh, Mosh, you're trying to do a lot of Habuki science. Let's just dissect it. He doesn't pay you to do what he says. He pays you to do what he meant. How do you convey what he meant if he doesn't say it? You just met this motherfucker. You've only known him for a few years. How you know what he means versus what he says? So if he tells you he wants you to be here at 8 a.m. sharp, he really meant for you to come at 10:35? How the fuck you know that? Unless what you're really saying in a very cryptic way is, you don't know the best way forward. He once said end result, and he's communicating to me to do A, B, and C to get said end result. But he doesn't realize that you're not going to get said end result unless you do X, Y, Z. And I know better. Now, why am I coming to this? This is my conclusion. I don't have any inside information that this is what's going on. Why is this my conclusion? It's my conclusion based off of my 25 plus years at a management level in a corporate 500 Fortune 500 world. Because people do subliminal shit like this all the time. But here's something more essential to Xbox why that's my conclusion. I think there's two sides at Microsoft on how to handle Xbox. Side number one wanted to do what Phil wanted to do. That is compete with PlayStation. Tim Dog has told us, my homie Mag has let us know, people with close ties to Xbox will tell you, as they've told you over and over again, Phil wanted to compete with Play. He loves the console war. He loved it. It's just popular and it's part of the PR to act like it's the cool thing to say, to stand up on this holier than thou soapbox. The console war needs to go away, but he relishes in it. Anybody close to Xbox knows that, right? So that's side one. And I'm arguing that I think there's very few people on that side now. Because even though they may have wanted to do that, they may not believe that Phil is the guy to lead them. I think the other side and the heftier side now, especially after Starfield failed to do what it needed to do in totality, in which is grow Game Pass substantially, lock in Game Pass subscribers, and financially make up the gap for lost revenue by being exclusive, not being multi-plat. It failed to do those things. It sold a lot, as people knew that Starfield was going to sell. That was never a question. But did it reach its potential? And the answer clearly is no. Excuse me. So side number two is the side that realizes, especially after looking at the ABK books while they were contemplating the acquisition. Remember, shout out to Steven Totilo, formerly of Axios, that's doing his own thing now. He's the one that revealed there were two investors that were in the running to grab ABK. We don't know who the other investor was, but the unknown investor was looking to not gut ABK, to keep ABK intact, but they were offering less money. And records show that the board, along with Bobby Kotick, said, we don't give a fuck what the buyer does to this company. They can tape everybody to the table and shit in their fucking mouths for all we care. They can sew everybody's mouth to everyone else's asshole like the human centipede for all we give a fuck. I am taking my money and I'm going to Cancun. Where you going, Lulu? I'm going to Cancun too. Man, fuck out of here. We're selling to Microsoft. And they knew Microsoft was going to gut the fuck out of ABK. Shout out to Steven Totilo for that insight. In order for Microsoft, prior to purchase, to make that determination, they would have been able to see the books at some level. When they saw those books at some level, somebody said, damn. Like when Kevin Hart was interviewing Don Cheadle, and Don Cheadle said he was 60 or something like that, and Kevin Hart was like, damn. They said, holy fuck, this company is making that much money on PlayStation? Why aren't the rest of our games on here? And I believe that Sarah Bond is closer to this is my theory. Again, theory. I believe Sarah Bond is closer to that side. She may have some animosity for PlayStation. She may not be the biggest PlayStation fan, but she realizes from a strategic point, oh yeah, let's put our shit on play. I don't think that she's trying to battle that. And I think now that you have Sarah Bond, who's become a rock star after the FTC trial, who Phil was probably put in a position to where he had to promote her. He had to put her somewhere. She was probably such a fan favorite with Satya and Amy He had to make her head of Xbox. That probably wasn't his personal decision. Probably was. I don't know, but this is all speculative here. And he has somebody now, one of his direct reports, that likely now has more pull than he does with Satya and Amy, who again wants to do things with Xbox that maybe is even out of the realm of comfortability for Phil. But because she has Satya's blessing now, because Phil's final gusto with Starfield being exclusive failed, I think that's why you got the Phil that looks like this. Again, all speculative, just putting theories out there. I'm using the little bit of information that I do have and making speculation based off of my corporate experience. But I think the pivotal thing to me, even if all that other stuff is off base, I think the pivotal thing to me is what she said in that Bloomfield interview, putting out there. I had to say to this guy, I had to put a post-it out. I think that puts you into the psycho. I don't think she meant to shoot it out that way, but that is this psychology of someone who's looking at their superior and they're basically saying, and so they don't know what they're doing. I do. I know what they want, but I know better than them how to get to it. They don't know what they're doing. I do. That's basically what she's saying. Even if she's saying it subconsciously, she probably meant no harm by it. But that just puts you in the mind state of Sarah Bond as it relates to Phil. She too thinks he's incompetent, I think. To a certain degree. She may like the guy, but she may think that he's incompetent too. And trust me, after Starfield, we know Amy definitely thinks Phil is incompetent, and Satya probably has doubts about him too. And that's probably why you got Phil Spencer, that since Gamescom and the revelation that, hey, this is a business, and him having to disappoint so many fans that he tried to appease now he can no longer hide it. We're no longer going to double speak. We're no longer going to try to sit there and pull the wool over your eyes. We have surrendered to PlayStation. I think now, since that revelation from Gamescom to less than a month later, and bro looks like this. And Phil is he goes to the gym all the time. He's an avid gym person. He looks defeated here. Bro looks defeated. I think since that time to now, just a month ago, if even that, he realized everything I've done has totally failed. And he's probably stressing every day, at any given moment, I could be done with. My tenure could literally be almost at its end. Just a theory. I'm putting it out there. Let me see what the chat's saying right now. Mag says, and again, if you guys are not familiar with Mag is one half of the X&C podcast with Cold Eastwood. Mag has been a longtime supporter of this platform as well, whether we landed in the same place about Xbox or not. He's been here since like the early days. We've had Mag on here and gave one of the, and that got nothing to do with me. It's just himself and his insight. Gave one of the best interviews you're probably going to get in gaming, period. Mag says, Phil is done. His vision for Xbox is done. That TGS show was hilariously bad. And I think that's why it looks like that. His vision is officially done. That killed me. I have a question for you, Mag, says Mohammed. If you don't mind, how's the Xbox community and Colt reacted for this? He says they're awfully quiet. They know that was a bad show, and I think they're well aware Indy Jones, Avowed aren't going to hit at all. Yeah, Meg, I I was just mentioning that. It's funny that you say that, but I think that solidifies it now that you're saying it, is that people are awfully quiet about this TGS show. And people are just resorting. And hey, look, for full disclosure, I had my doubts on the PlayStation 5 Pro. And I'm not fully sold on it. I'm more in the avenue of, I'm getting it. But I'm not 100% sold on it. I've been very critical of the PlayStation 5 Pro and it being rolled out and it proving itself, right? But you're not hearing any confidence about Xbox at all. It's just hate towards PlayStation. The PS5 Pro isn't selling this, that. It's a bunch of nonsense. So I second what Mag is saying. We got Royal Vision in the house. He says, what's good, my boy? Mr. Grimm, you know it's true. He bought two. Japan don't like Microsoft for Xbox. No one wants Microsoft. John Wayne, my Japanese friend, said it's classed as embarrassing to own an Xbox in Japan. No joke. We got my homie SPG in the house. He says the Sculptors had a field day and will again with the limited supply of 5090s. Sarah Bond don't know shit. All right. So I think this is a great segue for PlayStation's news. Because we beat up on Phil Spencer long enough, right? SPG says, watching the entire AAA industry flounder is wild. Honestly, don't hate to see it. I see it as poetic justice, watching untold billions being spent on uninspired projects with no artistic vision, marketed to audiences that they want rather than ones they have, building copycat data-driven dark pattern monetization platforms rather than games and art built with passion. Well, here's what I'll say, SPG. The AAA gaming community has gone through a cookie cutter phase because publishers have taken a bigger role, and these studios have tricked themselves that, hey, we'd rather have financial stability opposed to control. I think the best way for a AAA developer is to partner with a publisher, but not be owned by one. Partner with the publisher on IP and stuff like that. I know Remedy is fighting to do it, but I think Remedy might be that exception to where they might need to be owned by a company, because the way their games are marketed and designed, they're not marketed and designed for success. And I think they need a big publisher to help with that. That being said, the problem is publishers want cookie cutter. And I think the ideal formula is for third parties to do what Larian did. Larian found partners for timed exclusivity that were willing to throw money into it. Stadia, for instance, right? With plans for the full retail product to go, to be everywhere. And they work on an early access model, which I think is very smart. They get that initial funding. So what they'll do for timed exclusivity, and then what they do is they'll put a huge vertical slice of the game out there for early access people, and for people that would love to jump early on games like myself or even you, SPG, who did it with Baldur's Gate 3, right? We go buy it up, we're playing it, we're loving it, we're giving feedback back, and they're making the game better. And now they have the sourcing from us, direct, the gamers, to make the game better. So now they finally make the game good. we as gamers that like to jump on shit early, that understand that, you know, there's going to be bugs and roadblocks here, we're not getting a complete package, but we're willing to pay for that experience, we've helped make the game better. And now by the time it goes full retail, it's a fucking juggernaut. That is the way forward. The problem with AAA games right now is that in order to make AAA games, it's expensive. The tools to make these titles are not getting cheaper. Like SPG, you're into hardware and PC hardware. I gotta be honest. Looking at that 5090, that does not make me feel comfortable at all. Fucking 600 watts to power that thing? That's more electricity that's flowing through some third world countries. Like, the gaming, AAA gaming in general is expensive. So we, as gamers, we got to take the bull by the horns and take more control of this and pull this out of the hand of the publishers and these tech companies when it comes to this. I think another powerful innovation in making AAA games better from the output standpoint is AI technology. Because you're going to see, if we're solely reliant on hardware components, shit's going to get out of hand. 600 watts to power a GPU? That's fucking insane, bro. So let there be technology and things like DLSS, PSSR, where after the AI, the machine learning builds up, they can render better graphics that way. That again, we are contributing more. As gamers, this is a unique art and a unique product. We got to control this more. We got to take control out of these manufacturers' hands and out of these publishers' hands. We take it out of the publishers' hands by participating more in early access. Not sitting there trying to gatekeep, oh, early access shouldn't exist. No, if you don't like early access, don't participate. Let those of us like me and SPG that want to participate in it. And then when it comes to the rendering side and the output side, let AI, as far as visual output, not the development of games. I'm a little leery about the development of games in AI, but when it comes to visual output, oh, AI, that's lazy development. Don't fucking participate in it. Let people like me and SPG that don't mind using shit like DLSS, because we want to save a fucking buck on PC components. Let us do the shit. Y'all just sit the fuck back and let us do the heavy lifting. You let us do you let the forward-thinking gamers control this shit. Oh my fucking God. If one more person calls me, you let the forward-thinking gamers control this shit. And y'all just sit back and y'all reap the benefits of it. You know, I think that shit is crazy. All right. So let's move on to PlayStation. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Oh. Excuse me. Okay, all right. So, let's talk about PlayStation. Let's see here. So the PlayStation news is tenfold. We had the state of play, right? Let's talk about the state of play, where this question was asked: how would you rate the state of play? State of play was, they gave it a B. I gave it a C. But they gave it a B, and that was the highest score. The second highest score was a D. So you had about 43% of the people say it was an A or a B, and 57% said it was like a C or a D. Right. I was really surprised at this one. I was surprised but I thought it was more so a C, not necessarily a B, because even though the only thing that really got me excited was, of course, Ghost of Your Time, and then for me personally, Lunar, the remaster. There wasn't much shown there, but it's a state of play, so my expectations weren't high. And I think for a state of play, it was okay, right? In addition to that, we had the 50-year anniversary, or 30-year anniversary. Sony's throwback PlayStation 5 bundle sells out as quickly as fans find out how much it actually costs, which is insane. We also had, in relation to that, people complain about the PlayStation 5 numbers, the PlayStation 5 anniversary numbers, it being less than 1% of it. There was only enough copies for less than 1% of the 1% of PlayStation gamers, which is an interesting debate there. And last but not least, we had Digital Foundry talk about PlayStation 5 Pro and their thoughts on it and how it performed. So here's what I want to do. I want to take just a couple of minutes to play this part for you guys and gals, and then we'll come back to it and talk about it on the back end. So let's do that.
I'm looking at your notes here, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised at just how much they're doing here.
Make a pretty insane visual difference, like a really stunning visual difference relative to the PS5 version with just DDGI. In the right circumstances, I think it's almost a generational leap. Like the quality of the RTA will make such a big difference in indirectly lit areas of the track, like on the start of Monaco here. They have a new anti-aliasing and reconstruction method that isn't PSSR and isn't checkerboarding either. And it looks very, very impressive in my view. And the new PS5 performance mode is just so stable, relatively speaking. It's really impressive. And I actually had a chat with Mikhail Vanderloo, technical director at Guerrilla, and Roderick Vandersteen, the world lighting atmospheric lead at Guerrilla, and they kind of laid out their philosophy for the PS5 Pro mode selection, I thought, in a really interesting way.
We won't take choice away, but we do think that everybody will go for the 60 Hz mode because image quality is really good and it's really, really fast and buttery smooth. Friends don't let friends play with 30 Hz games.
So yeah, I think overall, Hogwarts Legacy, definitely a highlight here. Improved ray tracing, PSR's improving image quality. All around, it seems like a worthwhile upgrade. And yeah, in person, actually looking at it, it did look more impressive.
Dragon's Dogma 2 is an immensely demanding game.
They did mention that the PSSR gives them more detail than the old checkerboarding solution they had. And image quality did look pretty good outside of that aforementioned issue with RTGI. I counted out a few shots based on the footage they provided, and it looks like 1080p-ish internally. So that's like a 2 times upscale to 4K using PSSR. It looked pretty good here. But one highlight here that I think we did note based off of the footage that they provided, and also I did see this in person, is that it was running very, very well relative to my expectations. And we do have a short segment of city gameplay that we were able to track with our tools based off of that capture that we were provided. And it does indeed run in the 50s. It's not the most intense area of the city, but this is kind of within that PS5 VR window potentially, even at 60 hertz output. Although they do have 120 hertz output with VR at the moment, so that should also look quite nice there.
Okay. So that right there, and that you can see the entire presentation in total from Digital Foundry on their page. That in entirety makes the PlayStation 5 Pro sound like a worthwhile investment to its target demographic. Like I said, I'm officially now in the market for one, mainly because of Dragon's Dogma. But based upon all this information with PlayStation, let's talk about a few things. First and foremost, what were my high? Let's start with the state of play. What were my highs and lows of the state of play? And I want to do something here. Let me do something. Because again, I got receipts. I don't just pull shit out of my ass to try to be positive or negative for a platform. I actually bring my work home with me. And I keep record of my thoughts on all these shows. So let me see here if I can go to. All right, so here goes my what we call the NRO show grader that I do. And this is how I've rated the state of play. If it'll load up, there it goes. Okay. So, what I did is I had each item listed, and there's about over 26 or 25. No, there was about 25 things shown at the state of play. I give it a score, best out of 5. Was there gameplay? What type of game was it? AA, AAA, VR, indie? Was it exclusive? For Game Pass, I have this, and then is it on the cloud? And for the sake of this, I really wasn't concerned with these last 3 columns. They're just there as default. But my biggest scored items are Luna Remastered and Ghost of Yatai. I have to be honest. The PlayStation 5 Pro sizzle reel, I thought was lackluster. Digital Foundry, I feel like saved the PlayStation 5 Pro credibility. And as cool as that is for the moment, that's a bad thing overall for PlayStation. They have to be the ones that sell this, not Digital Foundry. That being said, Monster Hunter, I think, was one of the better presentations. Fantasian, I liked. Hell Is Us, I thought was cool. You know what I'm saying? Everything else I thought was just average. You know what I'm saying? I normally score 3.5. When I score something 3.5, it's an average presentation. Only a few things got slightly below average. Alan Wake presentation. Horizon Lego. I don't think that should have been part of the latter half of your showing. That should have been up here. And then definitely the lowest score for me was the PlayStation 5 sizzle reel. So overall, when you average this, right? If you average this, my average score comes to 3.58, which really a 7. I think it was. That's why I said it's a C. I think it was a 7. It was okay. It was okay. Ghost of Yatai definitely contributed to that score. And then my affinity, the nostalgia over Lunar Remastered, classic title, is what did it for me. Mr. Grimm says Arcade Chronicles look like something I'd like to play. Yeah, yep, definitely. A little off topic, but I just saw a video on the Tesla smartphone. It's crazy, man. You got to check. Oh yeah, I'll definitely check that out. The Tesla smartphone. That's interesting. So let's do this. That was the state of play. And I just want to show you guys, I don't just make shit up and go on the fly. Like I honestly judge things as they come. Let's talk about, I almost got a little bit ahead of myself. The 30th anniversary. What are you guys' thoughts on how pre-orders were handled? Cold Blood, if he was here, would have made the argument that pre-orders were not handled in the best way because they just basically gave, they only offered this for 1% of the 1%. Here's my theory that I was telling Cold Blood behind the scenes. And it all relates to that investment advice that I gave you guys earlier about the East and Asia markets really like trying to make a big push to be dominant again, like they, symbolic to how they were in the 80s. Maybe not so much. Maybe their real estate ain't going to be that expensive, but at least the power of the yen, they're looking to go into that direction instead of undercutting all the other currencies with the yen in hopes to drive investment. They're looking more towards value. Here's what's going on, and I want to give you the shortest version possible because I don't want to bore you guys. Already been here for for 2.5 hours. Remember when PlayStation raised the price of the PlayStation 5 in Japan, and a lot of us freaked out? Well, more of us freaked out here than we did in Japan because the people in Japan know what's going on. There is a big push to push the yen into being a dominant currency again versus having the yen being a low yield currency and in it trying to attract investors. Whenever you do something like that, because the Bank of Japan actually operated with negative interest rates, that doesn't affect consumers as much as it affected businesses. But they actually they were trying to spur growth. So really, for the past 3 decades, like here in the States, like if you live in the United States and you used to go buy a Little Debbie snack cake in the 90s, and that Little Debbie snack cake used to be 25 cents. And then, 30 years later, now that same Debbie snack cake is $2.20. Well, in Japan, that Little Debbie snack cake would have never gone up. It still would be 25 cents today. That's because the cost of living and stuff like that just stayed stagnant. That was to spur investment. And what people were doing was they were investing in Japan and buying credit to offset other debts elsewhere. So it's a complicated process. I'm not going to get into it here. What Japan is doing now is they're taking that yen and they're trying to raise the value of it organically. And what that does is that's temporarily going to, because they're doing it after decades of doing the complete opposite. That's now affecting the buying power of the yen. It's a lot more in depth than how I explained it, but just understand that what's happening with the Bank of Japan is that the way that they're handling the currency is negatively impacting the buying power of the yen. They're doing that with that temporary effect to help spur long-term growth of the yen. Not going to get into all the intricacies of that. You can look that up. There's a lot of Bloomberg articles and different videos and stuff like that that'll explain to you what's going on with the yen now, right? That being said, the big takeaway from this is that this is heavily impacting the power of the yen when it comes to PlayStation's ability to see better margins. Because if the yen is weaker and less attractive, when they go and try to wheel and deal for parts and go to vendors and convert currency in the States and convert how much things are worth, you know, when the yen has to go through its conversion phases for all the business that Sony does globally, they're taking a hit marginally. That's why Sony's margins are so horrendous. Well, no. That's why the decrease in their margins are horrendous. It's not that their margins are within themselves horrendous. They've gone from 12 to 13% just 4 years ago to only 6% today. That's a significant decrease. It doesn't mean that PlayStation is in trouble or Sony is in trouble. What it means is that Sony, for the short term, is having a harder time getting investment capital from investors because they're like, this is not a high yielding company. We're putting our money elsewhere. That's what that means. Doesn't mean that this is a short term downfall that, if done right, is going to lead to a big time, long term boom for not just Sony, but Japanese companies in entirety. But until that happens, they got to make short term decisions like raising the cost of prices and then doing shit like adding $5 to the console, selling a mid-gen refresh for $700. That's what's powering all of this. So because all this is happening, PlayStation, in its panic state over investment, not its survivability, but its investment. It's how fluid it is, right? That's why Hiroki Totoki, the fucking CFO, is now in charge of PlayStation. Why? PlayStation is Sony's biggest business, and its margins are seeing the largest downturn there in its largest business. So Hiroki Totoki is coming in. This is why I had angst about this dude, because CFOs tend to not think culturally about things like gaming. They only think about margins and money and investors and you know, enticing investors. So when you have a sector like gaming that's all about the culture, that's all about, you know what I'm saying, respecting the art, that goes out the window when it comes to raising margins. That's why there is only 12,300 PlayStation 5 Pro collector's editions. As a consumer, it sucks, and I don't like the decision because I think there's other things that they should have done. But again, me just breaking down the typhoon that's coming and why it came, not me saying, oh, I love the typhoon. I'm breaking it down for you. And breaking it down, here is likely what PlayStation's train of thought was. We need some high margin activity, and we got this 30-year anniversary coming up. We're going to sell this bitch for $1,000 USD, and we're going to only sell enough that we know is a good enough amount to sell that's going to produce high margins that are not going to sit in warehouses at all. This is not a continuous product. This is a product that we are hoping to benefit from to increase our margins. Why is sitting in a warehouse a problem? Because when you have consumer products that you sell globally, you have to rent warehouse space for those products to sit in. When you rent warehouse space, that is decreasing your margins. That's more that you're spending to create, ship, and market that product than you want. They came up with a figure. They said, let's do the math. Let's do the math real quick. And we're going to do it based upon USD. The bundle is $1,000. 1,000 times 12,300. That is $12,300,000. Sony is saying, we, to help improve our margins even further, we're going to produce enough that will generate $12,300,000 I don't know what the final profit margin is going to be, but that's the figure that they came up with, and they predetermined what the costs were, the expenses, and they said that's all we want it to be. Variable expenses at times that affect your margins or how long a product has to sit in a warehouse. And they don't want that. They want this to be straight margins. They want this to be maybe a double-digit margin product. And that's why. Why? Because they want to be able to say, we are now seeing better margins this fiscal quarter. They want to be able to report fiscal quarters with better margins, because that brings the boys to the yard, to quote Kellis. That brings the investors. If they can ship this product, minimize expenses, and say, look, this right here is our straight profit, no variable expenses. There you go. So it sucks for us as consumers, but you got to understand the guy that's at the helm now is a CFO. He don't think about, hey, let's do another 100,000, because another 100,000 might not fly as fast. You might have to ship another 100,000, and some of those might sit in warehouses, which are going to be variable expenses. They said, look, all we need to do is be able to have this amount of money and have this amount of margins, and we're good. That's going to help us financially. That's it. We don't want no variable outcomes or variable expenses. And that's why you only have 12,300 of these. Now, what could happen is they produce another 12,000. They produce another whatever thousand. But they're only going to produce enough at a time to take full advantage of the FOMO and ensure there are none sitting in warehouses globally that they need to have sitting. Like, they probably created about 14,000 of these things to accommodate faulty versions. They probably created about a total of 15,000 to, again, compensate with failure rates. But that's it. And those additional 3,000 or whatever, they're sitting in their warehouse space they don't have to pay anything additional for. But that's likely why they're doing this. Devil Shooter said, awesome, I got a membership. You've earned it, Devil Shooter. So that's what's going on. This is straight margin boosting product here. Now, this is different from the PlayStation 5 Pro, because I'm seeing a lot of people say that the PlayStation 5 Pro did not sell well. That I don't think is accurate. I'm going to show you why. Let's see here. Let me find my profile. Here's why I don't think that's accurate. Let me put up my tweet. I said, many people are making reference to the PlayStation 5 Pro still being available, therefore it must not be selling well. Per the attached, and shout out to Nib, is always putting out great information. If you're not following Nib, then shame on you. Per the attached, pre-order access stopped for several hours, then came back. That's signs of an allotment replenish, which equals higher than expected demand. So I say join us later today here, of course, as you guys did, because you know how to follow directions, as we break down the business team. Oh, Cold Blood finally made it. What's up, brother? So And he made it just in time for the Ubisoft part.
Hell yeah.
But just to quickly explain it to you guys, PlayStation 5 sold out in these areas, right? Then a few PlayStation 5 Pro sold out in those areas. Then a few hours later, they became available again. When you do pre-orders, and trust me, it's my job. This is how I keep my lights on. I get paid to follow the finances behind this stuff. My brother used to be VP at a tech company, in a company that started doing that selling hardware. And he's the one that told me, I may have told this to you guys publicly. He's the one that told me that whenever you buy a new consumer electronic, it's your best bet to wait 3 to 6 months before you buy it. And I said, why? He said, because that's normally when the third production batch comes. Because batch 1 is the initial batch that normally goes to pre-orders and stuff like that. And batch 2 is just a backfill batch to accommodate for batch 1 if batch 1 sells well. Batch 3 is when they take into consideration all of the faulty reports from consumers out of batch 1 and some of batch 2. Those don't start getting addressed until batch 3. And he said normally that's a 3 to 6 month process. So he's the one that told me that based upon his experience. Anyway, when you have a pre-order of electronic device, that is primarily for one reason, and two reasons in this case. Number one, it's a testing ground to see how much demand there is for this product, for one. In PlayStation's case, they've already negotiated an allotment that they're going to produce. They haven't necessarily produced it yet. They've negotiated how much they're going to produce. They're now playing and toying with how many of those they're going to sell directly to consumers, higher margins, as we just talked about, versus how many they're going to give to retailers. That's likely why you're seeing these scenarios where the PlayStation 5 Pro is being put out there. It's sold out quick. And in some countries, they're replenishing at one time. In some cases, in the United States, it looks like there was 2 replenishments. There's not a replenishment of supplies. They didn't ship more to the United States. They didn't open more cartons. There's no supply sitting anywhere yet. They're making a determination of how many they can sell directly off of PlayStation Direct, which means 100% of that revenue is going to them versus having to split anything with a retailer. So if they can sell more on their own before they got to say, okay, retailers, here's what you're getting. That's what they're going to do. To us, the gamer, it might feel a little disheartening because we're like, damn, this doesn't look good. It's just the appearances of it looks bad because it looks like this thing ain't selling. PlayStation right now under Hiroki Totoki don't give a damn about appearances. They're all about margins. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Again, I'm not justifying the typhoon or not. I'm letting you know why it exists, why it's coming. They don't care about social media appearances. All they care about is, oh, it sold out? How much did it sell out? Okay, allot them another 5,000 or what. That's all they're doing right now. It's all a numbers game. They're all playing with numbers right now. And they're trying to settle on how many they can sell through PlayStation Direct and get all of the revenue versus, okay, this is all we could sell on our own. Here's how many we're going to allot or earmark for retailers. So just because you see some that are available, that doesn't mean it's not selling. It's sold over expectations by appearances. because they had to shut it down in many locations and restock. And like I said, for all intents and purposes, it looks like they did that twice in the States. They did it twice yesterday. They did it a second time where it sold, the allotment that they replenished sold out again at 2 p.m. They had to negotiate another allotment and it went live again at 6 p.m. They're playing with numbers. This happens all the time. But that's why I say it's important to understand that business. So I don't see, I'll put it like this. I don't see anything here. Knowing what I know, I don't see anything that says the PlayStation 5 Pro, these initial 2 days off of what we see off of PlayStation Direct. I don't see anything that suggests that it undersold. We see the opposite. But these are the first 2 initial days. If you want to know, it's too early to determine now whether this is going to be a success pre-order or not. It's too early to tell. You won't know until that allotment goes to retail. That'll let you know if it's a success or not. If up until launch day, there's still a shit ton of PlayStation 5 Pros that can be reserved, like if at no point in time retail stores say, oh no, it's over with, we don't have any more, you got a problem. Hold on one second. So right now, again, you're seeing a lot of conjecture and a lot of people not understanding the process is trying to predetermine if this thing is a success or not. Here's what I will say. I will say that I've seen enough from Digital Foundry that has confounded me to say, okay, now I'm officially in the market for one. But I'm not 100% sure that Digital Foundry has convinced enough people to make the pre-orders a success overall. We don't know if, I'll say this. I think I'm comfortable enough to say this. These initial days on PlayStation Direct, they were definitely a success. But whether it'll be a success overall, like once this thing hit retail, I don't know yet. Because PlayStation is putting this in the hands of Digital Foundry. I don't know if that's smart. PlayStation needs to come out here and do the shit and say the things that that Digital Foundry is doing. That'll solidify its success. So again, if you got people out there saying, oh, based off of what we see right now, oh no, there's still volume out here. PlayStation is not playing the typical FOMO game. They're not doing that with this. They're going to try to sell as many on PlayStation Direct as they can, that they feel they can get away with, all up until, and I thought it was October 4th. It looked like it's October 10th, at least here in the States. They're going to play with that number as much as they can up until they can't play with it anymore. And they got to say, okay, this is the stock that we're going to allot to retailers. You then have to watch the retailers and see how units are moving at retailers. If people that work at GameStop says, oh yeah, we were allotted 20 and it's been a month and only 5 have moved, then you can sit there and say, oh, hold on, we got a problem. But until then, you can't say that. If let's just say, for instance, a GameStop was allotted 20 and they run through that 20 and for some reason they get another 15 and that 15 probably moves slow. that's kind of iffy because you don't know why they got that other 15. Did they get that other 15 because numbers were moved from another store, or did they get that 15 because Sony went back to their jobber in their manufacturers and said, okay, let's do another rapid order. How fast can you get this out? And the manufacturers and the jobber said, we can produce and ship another 100,000. Okay, great. All right, we're going to now send another 100,000 to retailers. We don't know. So the only indicator that you'll have if this thing is not moving is, again, once those allotments move to retail, and if those original allotments that go to retail, if they don't sell out, then you can say, oh shit, yeah, we got a problem. But right now, you can't make that determination. It's too early. All right. Cold Blood. I tried to the best of my ability to explain the cons of them only releasing 12,300. I tried to explain why they did it, but then I tried to focus on the cons on why it just wasn't smart consumer wise. But I think you can do a better job of that. Did you want to elaborate on the fact that it was only 12,300 of the anniversary edition and how you think that was a stupid decision?
Bro, if you give people the choice, yeah, like who in the fuck would take the white one? Like, now people know there is a better version out there, and they didn't get it. You are stupid if you think people are gonna go for that white one then.
Yeah.
If they felt like they got shafted with the 30th anniversary one. Nah, bro. In my opinion, that anniversary should have been celebrated by everyone, not just 12,000 people, bro. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I was one of the first in this fucking waiting queue, yeah?
Yeah.
And I did not get one. I didn't even get the chance to even click on add to cart, yeah? Bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And bro, I'm telling you, a lot of people gonna cancel the Pro when they see they can still buy them even after retailers already got it.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna cancel from PlayStation Direct.
Yeah, they'll cancel the place if they can get the anniversary. Oh yeah, they'll do that.
Or no. They just literally gonna cancel and say, what the fuck, it's not even that limited anyway. Because, like you said, they don't see how they fuck with the numbers.
Okay, so you think a PlayStation 5 Pro pre-order person might say to hell with it anyway? I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I am that close to saying, fuck, I want to cancel that motherfucker. I'm that close. Just because I didn't get this fucking color, bro. I'm telling you.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but what they could have done, bro, is just make 100,000 of those. It would still be so fucking limited, if you think about it. Like, ain't no fucking way 100,000 wouldn't sell out immediately as well. But at least you would maybe get a better chance.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then when you have that many, you can allot them more to every country, you know. Like I don't know if they think America is that fucking important to them. Well, give them the 50K, and then the rest of the world gets the other 50K.
No, I think 100,000 would easily fly off the shelves.
Yeah, me too, bro. And that would literally make them $100 million, bro. Right
Yeah,
there.
I don't think 100,000 of those would sit anywhere. I really don't. What all comes with the bundle? Like, it's the PlayStation 5 Pro, the DualSense Edge, that custom connector cable, right? And then what else comes with it?
The charging station for the DualSense.
Okay, is the portal come with it too, or no? That's separate.
No.
Oh, okay.
That would be hella value. That.
Yeah.
God. Damn, bro.
Yeah, I think 100,000 would have flew off the shelves. Even 50, yeah.
Bro, just make the Pro the standard PS1 color, bro. Like every single one of them.
Well, yeah, they're not going to do that because, like I said, they were really trying to take advantage of the nostalgia to justify you paying $1,000. This is clearly a margin pushing product. I just think they should have put more out there.
Bro, trust me, most people would still go for the fucking for the bundle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They definitely could have. They could have moved 100,000 easily.
Yeah,
but
and
again,
then the rest gets the colored PlayStation, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that was stupid of them to even make that white motherfucker.
Yeah. I think they should have multiple colors, like white and black, or whatever. But they, again, heroic. This is why that guy gave me heartburn. This is a CFO decision. He's like, he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. He does not know the culture. He's purely a numbers guy. And you're going to see a lot of dumb decisions. I'm sorry. I'm not saying the games are going to start being horrible. I'm just saying when it comes to consumer interactions like this, you're going to see a lot of dumb decisions. It isn't necessarily dumb. It's ignorant. You're going to see a lot of ignorant decisions based off of ignorance to the culture because the person that's in charge that's calling the shots on stuff like this is ignorant to the culture. And you can't get someone like that up to speed in just a short amount of time. So, Ice Queen Gaming says, I'm heading off now. Bye, MM2K. And it's my birthday tomorrow. Going for it. All right. You have a great time, Ice Queen Gaming. Thank you for joining us. All right. Y'all definitely wanted to get your take on that. But are you ready, my friend? Because here's your favorite part of the show. We're going to talk about it. Ubisoft. Hold on, let me do this. See that? Ubisoft has now they're now going through an investigation. And people don't understand how high stakes this investigation is. But I'm gonna help break it down to y'all. Let's see here. Well, let's do this. I want to take you guys to the hot tub time machine and just remind you that once upon a time, Ubisoft was actually not too even long ago. Yves Guillemot was Person of the Year. Let's do this. Oh yeah, you guys can see it. Yves Guillemot was named Person of the Year. Why? Ubisoft just had some hits. They had a couple of hits on their hands. And they were battling Vivendi. Vivendi was trying to take them over. and they were able to scathe off Vivendi. Gamers were behind them. We're with Ubisoft. Because Vivendi was trying to do some slick shit and take over Ubisoft, and gamers were like, we don't want Vivendi and what they did with ABK. We don't want that affecting Ubisoft. And people rallied behind Yves and Ubisoft. That was just 6 years ago. But something happened starting in 2019. In 2019, Tencent stepped in and started heavily investing into Ubisoft. And you started seeing things change. First, it was Ghost Week. You started seeing games come out more and more earlier than they should have, more and more incomplete. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and all types of games that were fan favorites before people, a part of the target demo, started to get rejected. And then people started saying, you know what, Ubisoft is getting greedy. They don't care about quality. And they're just trying to do games as a service. And we hate games as a service. Games as a service is evil. And we want Ubisoft to fail. So what people, including myself, well, I wasn't included in that because I don't necessarily mind open world games as a service. But over time, I started looking at products like Far Cry 6, more recently, Far Cry 6, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and definitely more recently, Star Wars and Avatar. And over the past year, Star Wars, Avatar, Skull and Bones, which I never cared for, the endless cycle between Beyond Good and Evil 2. And I started looking at Ubisoft and I'm like, yeah, something is amiss here with Ubisoft. Like they're it's not just, let's look beyond the people that are trying to gatekeep, that are trying to hate on their military strategy games and their games as a service. There's something more to this. They are not focused on quality anymore, right? Watch Dogs, right? That all started 2019 when Tencent started increasing its investment in Ubisoft. And then people started rallying against Ubisoft. They're woke. They're games as a service. We hate them. And they erroneously started looking at the stock price. And they're like, yeah, Ubisoft just needs to die and go away. And they're going to do that once their stock price goes down. Not realizing that's exactly where Ubisoft wanted you to focus. They wanted you to focus on their stock price. Because here's the reality of it. It took this whistleblower to come out a month ago and talk about this. Ubisoft being pressured to go private as share prices continue to fall. In a publicly released letter, AJ Investments says that Ubisoft is an undervalued company. Now, who are AJ Investments? AJ Investments are a group of investors that invest in a lot of things, including games, so they understand the business of gaming. And they just said, fuck it. Let's invest in Ubisoft because we want to see what's going on here. So they invested a little bit of money in Ubisoft and got access to shit that gamers don't know about because gamers are out there just sitting there waiting for Ubisoft to disappear, which it would have never happened because Ubisoft apparently, according to AJ Investments, was running a scam possibly with Tencent. What is that scam? According to AJ Investments, Ubisoft is actually undervalued, meaning that the stock price is artificially declining even though Ubisoft's assets far exceed its stock price. And Ubisoft apparently didn't care about it. They continued. The hedge fund says it has concerns about the future of Ubisoft as well as its current management. Ubisoft at its current state is mismanaged. And listen to this. Shareholders are hostages of the Guillemot family and Tencent who are taking advantage of them. Management is focused on pleasing investors with beating quarterly results and not focusing on long-term strategy to provide exceptional experience for gamers. What is that? Management is focused on pleasing investors with beating quarterly results and not focusing on long-term strategy to provide exceptional experience for gamers. So you got to understand, there's a difference between analysts and investors. Analysts can come out there and project things about your company and affect your stock price. Investors are people that actually invest in your company and they either benefit or gain money from your investments. So while analysts are going out there and saying, oh, they're not making these projections and this and that, investors are actually making money off of this. Why? Because even though an Ubisoft game may not sell well, they are making money off of DLC and other shit. There's a reason why during the FTC trial, it was revealed that Ubisoft is one of PlayStation's top 2 publishers. You can go look at most sold games or whatever, and you'll see Ubisoft games that have poor sales. Why are they up there then? Because they're making money off the games as a service elements. And then PlayStation's making money off of them too. So nobody's questioning anything. So it sounds like Ubisoft and Tencent are running a perfect scam. Gamers are mad at Ubisoft and the stock price is going down. So gamers who are ignorant to how this works, they think Ubisoft isn't making money because evaluations are low. They don't understand how this works for Ubisoft, the fact that they're bolstered by the French government and that their stock prices can be negative $1 billion. It's not going to hurt them. Gamers are ignorant to that. Platform holders aren't questioning anything because even though their sales projections are low, Ubisoft is still making money. And PlayStation and Xbox are getting a cut in Steam. Well, Steam soon. But all these platform holders are getting a cut of the money that are being made off the games as a service stuff. So everybody's happy. The Ubisoft haters are happy. The platform holders are happy. The Guillemot family is happy because Tencent is chucking money in here. And there's a reason why Tencent is chucking money in here. And also, the investors are happy. Meanwhile, we gamers are the ones that are losing. The gamers that are not on any of these extreme sides. They're not of the Ubisoft haters. They're not of the greedy investors or the platform holders that aren't asking questions. We just want good games. We don't mind open world games or whatever the case may be. We just want good games, and we're not getting them. And here's how gamers long term are bound to lose out on this. You don't think EA is looking at this? You don't think Take-Two is looking at this? If you don't think these other companies are looking at this and saying, we can get away with this shit too, I got an island to sell you. They're just sitting back and watching if Ubisoft will get away with it. Now, what happened to stop all this potentially and possibly not only save the day for potential Ubisoft demographic, but for gaming as together to discourage other publishers from doing this? AJ Investments, who said there's something nefarious going on here. They're trying to undercut the stock and satisfy investors. Meanwhile, Tencent keeps pumping money in here. Why would they do that? For a potential Tencent buy? So guess what ended up happening? Number one, after that whistleblower said all that shit that they said, not because of the Ubisoft haters, but because of the whistleblower, as soon as they put that out there, thing number one, oh, guess what happened? Assassin's Creed gets pushed back to address some things of concern, right? And then they're changing their business model from the grimy business model that they were doing with pre-orders to a more consumer-friendly one. And it's not just affecting Assassin's Creed, it's affecting Star Wars, right? But they don't get off scot-free, because guess what else is happening? Now Ubisoft has to launch an investigation on. Which again, the Ubisoft haters didn't do this. Like that's why I say fuck Pirate Nation. I can't stand accounts that have an agenda that misleads you on facts. Fuck them. They had you watching that stock price all the time when the stock price didn't mean shit. I wouldn't be surprised if Pirate Nation is actually a sock. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if a lot of these Ubisoft quote unquote hater accounts outside of Tom Henderson truly, you could tell that Insider Gaming and Tom Henderson, they were truly dismayed by Ubisoft's actions, and they really had an axe to grind because of the direction they were going. I don't think Tom Henderson is part of that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Pirate Nation and some of these other accounts weren't actually stock accounts for Ubisoft, trying to keep you fixated on a stock price that meant nothing to Ubisoft while all this shit was happening in the background. Because after all these revelations, they're still talking about stock price. I wouldn't be surprised if these were Ubisoft stock accounts. I'm just saying. Anywho, now an investigation has been launched. And I'll say this, and I'm going to shut up and I'll turn it over to Cold Blood. This right here is a prime example on why at least the bare minimum level, we got to understand the business side of this. These publishers are greedy. If there's anything killing gaming right now, it's greedy publishers. I want to throw this out here. You guys think that you guys don't like Sweet Baby Inc., right? Let's just touch on this a little bit, regardless of how side you fall on this. When you look at the backlash that games are getting that partner with Sweet Baby Inc. are concerned, I know this from personal experience. A lot of times governments give out subsidies when you do certain things, meaning they'll give you a tax write-off, give you kickback and all other stuff. So it's not so much that these publishers all of a sudden say, we want to diversify, because I'll be honest with you, I'm all for diversity. There was a time period during where I'm at that I was tasked with diversifying our area. So I'm all for it. But diversification means balancing things out, not making sure that there is an unbalanced focus on one group. That means there's a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. That's not what we're seeing now. We're seeing a complete shift in the opposite direction. That's not diversification. That's purging of one group and putting the complete entitlement into another group. But there's actual financial incentive to do this now. It's not because of these publishers all of a sudden want to diversify. Like Sony's a Japanese company. Go and watch Japanese content and see if it's diversified. But when you look at Sony's first-party studios now, a lot of them partner under a lot of these diversification entities. Why is that happening? Because a lot of this stuff is the tax write-off is subsidized. And that's why, as much as people complain about it, publishers don't care. Now, again, I'm not saying that Grums is a good faith fighter for righteousness. No, but there's a lot of people in the middle of this debate just asking for actual diversity, not you get rid of all of this and replace it with all of this. They're asking for a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, for it to be fair and even across the board. And the reason why that's not happening is because, again, like I said, there's a financial benefit for eliminating this and replacing it with replacing it. Why is that happening? Because publishers are benefiting financially from doing it. They're not benefiting from you, the consumer, because gamers are actually split about this and they're fighting over it and they're losing revenue but they get financial benefits from elsewhere. Companies are lobbied to do this type of stuff. That's what happens when greedy publishers do the bidding. I'll give you a prime example. Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 got a lot of diversity in it, right? But with Baldur's Gate 3, do you feel like any group is being purged and another group is being focused? No, there's a little bit of everything in here. Why is that? Because they could address diverse, and people didn't complain about the diversity in Baldur's Gate 3. You can select and be and do whatever you want, because you have option. Why does Baldur's Gate 3 enact and practice complete diversity versus what you see elsewhere? Because they are not tethered to a publisher. They only partner with publishers. That's why. Publishers are greedy. They do not work in your best interest unless they're forced to. There's no publisher, no big wig publisher that's Take-Two, that's EA, that's Ubisoft, that's Square. There's none of them out here that are doing this for the culture. None of them. None. They're all greedy. So, if Ubisoft continue to play this charade with, look, we're lowering this stock price because we're going to let Tencent come in here and gobble us up, possibly. This is possibly the scam that they were running. It's starting to look air apparent that, again, like AJ Investment said, they weren't focused on quality at all. They were just appeasing investors. And analysts and investors are not the same thing. You have investors that invest directly into the company that are benefiting from this. And they're appeasing investors, not stockholders, but other investors. They're appeasing them. They're seeing growth. They could care less about the stock, or they could care less about the quality of the game. They're doing enough to skate by. So here's my message to you. You gotta understand how this works. Had it not been for AJ Investments, and thank goodness for Tom Henderson and Insider Gaming, if it wasn't for those two entities, you guys would still be out there like bozos paying attention to a stock price that means nothing. Other companies would have seen this. Other companies would have duplicated it. And you would have had the Ubisoft, what I want to coin the Ubisoft effect across gaming. And it wouldn't have mattered because clearly Ubisoft is benefiting from it. Ubisoft is clearly benefiting from it. That's why they keep doing it. And now they're forced to launch an investigation because somebody that knew what's happening finally stepped in and stopped it. We got to know what's going on. We got to know how this works. We can't fight this and combat this any other way. So that's all I got to say about it. I'm happy this happened. I hope a full investigation happens. And I don't know how things work in the EU and France, but I hope if it's founded that gamers have been deceived, the stock was being manipulated and purposely undervalued for a 10-cent purchase or for whatever the case may be, someone goes to jail. Because that's what would happen in the States. Someone would go to jail. That's what I'm hoping. But we'll see. And I'm not wanting somebody to go to jail just for the sake of going to jail. I'm just going off the information that we got, courtesy of AJ Investments and some of the other stuff that could potentially be happening here. The potentiality of this is bad enough. And if the potentiality is legit, I want to see people go to jail. So that's my thoughts. I'm going to now shut up, and we are going to close out with Cold Blood and what he thinks about his favorite company, Ubisoft. And I want to know how many times he prays at night that Ubisoft will be okay. But I turn it over to Cold Blood now.
So, first of all, Massive, the entire studio should be in jail. How dare you release 3 games in a row that are fucking dog shit? Okay, all right. Okay, I got you, brother. I got you. I mean, next is probably the Assassin's Creed team. They should also go to jail over fucking up the franchise. Bro, I'm not the expert that you are. I just wanted to hear what you have to say really about it.
Well, I mean, you can speak to the quality of the games. Like, I mean, you used to like Ubisoft games, right? Like, what changed that for you?
I did.
You can talk about that.
Everything after Watch Dogs 1
okay.
changed that for me. Like, none of those games hit at all.
Yeah.
And now that we find out they are fucking criminal shit, bro, it's no fucking wonder to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Yves was grooming his fucking company into becoming a Chinese subsidiary, bro. I don't know.
Yeah. And the French government might be implicit too. Just to put that out there.
Oh my god. Oh, what if they can find out that shit, bro?
Oh, I wish. I wish. Yep, the French government might be implicit too in all this. This is crazy. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, the question now is, if they find anyone guilty there,
Mm-hmm.
is it gonna change Ubisoft in any way?
Well, if they find someone guilty, they're going to have to. It's going to affect Eves, and.
But what if he's the one that is found guilty?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he's the one that's found, it's gonna be Eves. Like if they find someone guilty, it's gonna be Eves. Even if they find multiple people guilty, Eves is gonna be one of them because he's had to sign off on all this shit. You don't do something at that level, nefarious and fraudulent to that level without him knowing. Absolutely not. He knows, and he's gonna go. The question is, who's gonna replace him? Because I don't think there's anybody in that Guillemot family that has a good direction for the company. If you got to do all this shit, if you got to do this, then I don't know who you would trust from the Guillemot family. So the company will probably go up for sale. Because they'll find out that even though the games sales wise perform shitty, the true value of their assets are gonna come out, and somebody will buy it. They'll buy the IP and they'll just do what the IP did. But here's the problem. That then puts it back in the hands of Vivendi or EA. Vivendi and EA both were the ones that were trying to do a hostile takeover. Mainly Vivendi, but EA was trying to do it too. They ain't no knight in shining armor. But it might end up in Vivendi's hands or EA. Who knows? I would trust Vivendi. If Take-Two were to buy them, but I doubt it. That might be the best solution. It's not like Take-Two's perfect either. Mm-hmm.
Is Ubisoft gonna lose their cloud rights for Activision games? If they no?
Nope. They wouldn't lose that. Oh yeah, that would be part of the assets because they bought it, they owned it. Like they wouldn't necessarily lose property because of this. It was just that the leadership would have to go. Like the people respond, but all the assets, would still be their would belong to the company.
If they would lose their cloud rights, bro, then I would also say Microsoft is also planning some shit.
Would you say the what?
No, I would have had a conspiracy theory if they lost.
The
cloud rights.
Oh, you think
Microsoft is involved in that shit? Yeah, they're trying to set them up, bro. Get rid of them before they get their new cloud service out.
Hey, you never know, bro. You never know. Like this, who is it? Fuck. This AJ Investments. You never know. They could have. Satya could have sent them. You never know. You never know because. And this is, as much as I don't like the APK deal and much I say fuck you to Microsoft, I'm hearing stories about how Ubisoft is fucking over Microsoft big time with their own games when it comes to the cloud rights. I heard they're whipping them, they whipping the shit out of them. Like they're doing them dirty. Like the cloud versions of their games have appeared on competing platforms before they appeared on Xbox over the negotiation of rights, according to a lot of these rumors that I'm hearing.
Bro, they're just looking out for the best success for the games. So,
the best success
anywhere
for
but on
Xbox. They are doing them dirty. Jenna Hayes says, Mars, you should be a college pro. No, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Because I pay attention to everything. It wasn't me that discovered this. Like, I was another one that just was like, I mean, I wasn't sold on the whole stock price thing, because clearly I knew something was going on to where I didn't know anything nefarious was going on, but clearly I knew that the stock price wasn't affecting Ubisoft. I just thought that the French government was just footing the bill. That's what I thought. But no, it's Tencent, and they're purposely undercutting the stock price. It's undervalued, and they don't care. They don't care. So you got to thank Tom Henderson, and you got to thank this AJ, and you got to thank Tom Henderson for being the only person that's reporting this shit. That's why I said I'm again, you got to ask Pirate Nation and all these other Twitter accounts, what the fuck are y'all doing? Why are y'all still talking about stock price? Tom Henderson and company told you there's a bigger story out. Like, if you really want to see the downfall of Ubisoft, there's a bigger story out there. Why are you focused on stock price? That's why I said, are you guys a sock account for Ubisoft? Like, that needs to be investigated next. They weren't paying attention to anything these accounts were putting out there. They were just grifting off of each other. And what stopped this shit was AJ Investments coming out and making these accusations about Ubisoft. And honestly, there's parts of what they blame them for, which I don't even see in this report. They must have taken it out. I'll find another report that talks about it, but this is crazy. What's up, Geek? All right, so we're gonna get out of here.
Wait,
go ahead, brother.
Did you talk about the stuff you do with Geek?
No. Did I talk about that publicly yet? No. Just so you, as an FYI, oh yeah, you missed it. We reached our monthly goal. So we got another monthly goal giveaway to do soon. Or on the 21st, because that's when we do our monthly goal giveaway. So we'll be doing that on the 21st. We met our monthly goal. We got 20 gifted members and 1 new member today. So we met our monthly goal. We're at like 55 or something like that. It's not going to show it now in the graphic because it takes a day for the graphic to catch up. But we got that going on. So congratulations to all of you guys, and thank you for your support. But yeah, to what Cold Blood is talking about, Geek and I are going to get together. There was another giveaway that we were doing associated to the Discord that we were doing. And what I want to do is I want to sit with Geek, because Geek brought up something very good. He said, look, the way your giveaways are, he said, now you want to leave. He said, look, man, all of the giveaways are tethered solely to people being members. And what happens is now we were fortunate. We had Battlefield Marine, and I can't remember the other person that were our last 2 giveaway winners. But they were long-term supporters. Who was this? I can't remember shit. But we got lucky there. The way that our giveaways are structured now, you could just have been lurking one day, been gifted a member, and become a winner. And that's kind of like, you know, I mean, that's part for the course, but it's kind of disheartening to our long-term followers and supporters, because a lot of times the way these gifteds work now, they're going to people that normally don't opine in the content. Well, no, because J Gaming, not J Gaming, he was gifted a member all the time. But it wasn't the most balanced way to do our giveaways. So I'm gonna get with Geek, and we're gonna restructure our Discord giveaway for members in a better, more balanced way. And Geek has something special that's going to be part of that giveaway. So there'll be more details on that once we finalize all this stuff. But shout out to Geek, he's already working on this. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I think you guys will be really excited. And you guys have been doing so much support for the channel that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So again, we got another monthly goal giveaway coming up on the 21st. We got a guaranteed Foamy Friday next Friday, and between now and next Friday, all we need is let's see here. Between now and next Friday, all we need is 14 more members between now and next Friday. If we get 14 more members, then you got another giveaway that's gonna happen. And the way our giveaway system works is it goes up levels. So our monthly goal giveaway we met, and we're not gonna meet it before. I don't know. It's going to increase to 100. We could have a crazy Monday. Who knows? But our bi-weekly goal giveaway is going to go up to a level 2. So you know what I'm saying? So we keep increasing it until the time period resets. But yeah, we met our monthly giveaway. We met our bi-weekly. We're close to meeting the bi-weekly goal, and we met our weekly goal for Foamy Friday. All great stuff. So we appreciate you guys as always. All right. I think that's it. Any closing thoughts, Cold Blood, before we get out of here?
Can I say I told you so?
About what?
About Ubisoft.
You didn't know they were criminal. Nobody knew they were criminal.
No, but I told you about East and him being a fucking problem, and you say no, not him. And now you're singing a different tune.
Eves is a problem. Yeah, as a criminal, he's a problem. But I don't think his vision was a problem. It's just that in 2019 he decided to be a criminal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to sound like being a criminal is okay. It's not his game. It's not the game vision that they have focusing on games as a service and open world games is a problem. It's just they took a criminal spin to it, which kind of bad. So let's see here. I want to get to all widgets. Hold on, let's see here. I can't see. Oh, I can't do that right here. So over the weekend, I'll work on this to where we can. Damn it! I'm trying to fix it to where those graphs come back up. We'll work on that over the weekend. All right, y'all. Until next time, you all have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.